testing you. I was testing you all. You all failed. Hello, everyone. We are the Lost Caravan RPG. We do one-shots, we do mini-series, we do long-running campaigns. If it's TTRPG, we pretty much do it all. Put my microphone next to my face. Tonight, we are playing a game called Nova. It is a rules-light, sci-fi, mech suits, exploration, squad-based combat tactical D6 TTRPG. I made most of that up off the top of my head. It's just really cool. It's going to be a lot of fun. But before we get into it, we do have one very big announcement, and that tonight's stream is the end of our event to support the Trevor Project. All this last week, we have been running all of these streams so that we could raise money for the Trevor Project, which is an organization that they're the world's largest LGBTQ youth suicide prevention and crisis intervention organization. I knew I would get it eventually. We want to make sure that every LGBTQ young person knows that they are not alone. This is a very important message from myself and everyone at the Lost Caravan, so we hope that you'll consider making a donation tonight to help support an amazing cause. Every $10 adds your name to the drawing at the end of the stream, where we will be giving away a really cool dice box from... Oh god, I just had it. Hold on, I have it.
Need more dice? Maybe? Maybe need more dice?
From the Elderwood Academy.
Oh, I was wrong.
And
I'm
they
so
are
wrong.
very, very cool dice boxes. But we're also giving away dice from Need More Dice. It was the pictures that I posted on the starting screen there. They are absolutely beautiful. I'm going to pop them in here real quick just to show them off again. Bam. Look at them. They glow in the dark. They're sparkly. Just absolutely beautiful.
I need math rocks. Need the
More
bigger
math
amount.
packs. And we're
Oh, the
also
best
giving
kind.
away a year subscription to Legend Keeper, which is a campaign organizer that has maps, it has NPCs. You can. Oh, I saw some of the things that you can do with it. It is incredible, the amount of detail that you can throw into maps in this program. If you are a DM running a long-term campaign, you should absolutely check out Legend Keeper because it's beautiful. But yeah, we're giving away a free 1 year subscription to that. Also, Exalted Funeral is matching every cent that we raise in our total donation. So if you can, please go and support them by checking out their massive catalog of indie TTRPGs at exaltedfuneral.com. Oh, I think that's it. I guess I could, while we're here, show off merch. We have merch, y'all. You can find this at our website at lostcaravanrpg.com. We have a bunch of cool stuff, and we have more proposed merch, more shirts and stickers and stuff in the works. All right, let's kick up the music. Brought to us by Epidemic Sound. All right. I'm going to go around, give everyone a chance to tell you who you are and who you're playing tonight, and then we'll get into the character details once we actually get started. So we'll start to my immediate right with Kian.
Hello, everyone. My name is Kian. My pronouns are they, them, theirs. You can find me on Twitter at uptight_chiffon. And tonight I am playing Nikki Breyer, call sign Sunshine, which is a little bit of an ironic name for them. But they are a sort of 20s, 30s non-binary person, pretty androgynous, covered in tattoos. I am playing a Voyager, so they are all about they were from the get-go all about exploring the dusk. So yeah, I'm super excited to be here.
Gotcha. Over to Turk.
Hello everyone, I am Turk or Turk accented in the place in the darkest corners of your mind. Tonight I am playing Joseph Vladimir, the codename Strigori, piloting the Sanguine Spark.
Ooh, fancy. Over to JT.
Hi everyone, I'm JT. My pronouns are they, them, theirs. You can find me on Twitter at Weebjeet. Tonight I will be playing Caldwell Cobble Bashar, call sign Stone. They're a young, peppy, naive, new Spark driver who's been flying with this team, and they are ready for their missions.
Yeah. Over to Blair.
Hello, I am Blair. You can find me at underscore Canadian Moose. Oh my gosh, I almost forgot my username. Or over on High Shelf Collective all the time. And tonight I'm going to be playing Cassidy Kang, who is a drifter. She's going to be sharpshooting all over the place. So I'm excited.
Heck yeah. And then JD.
Hi, I'm JD. You can find me on the internet at JD, not Jason Dean, pretty much on all social media. Tonight, I will be playing Corbin Calloway, call sign Reaper, who is the Grim, and he enjoys dealing with his problems by reanimating and puppeting them, and by problems, I mean the bodies of his dead enemies.
Yes,
That
you
is
do.
what he is here for.
I did notice that we got 2 donations. Kian, thank you so much. You're an absolute legend. And then someone just put their name as Big Awesome Dude who wants those dice. Feel free to just send me a message so I know who you are, so that if you win, I can actually give you the dice, because I don't know who that is.
Wonder who that could be.
Okay, never mind. We figured it out.
Want those dice?
All right. Why don't we dive on in with a little bit of scene setting, straight from the Nova PDF, which all of the character art is straight from the PDF for the beautiful classes. So go check it out. The art is fantastic. A brief history of our world. The sun has exploded. Its shards crossed the solar system, smashed into Earth and the moon, and humanity was devastated. Nearly wiped out. The moon was stuck in the sky, a glowing, pockmarked beacon of our apocalypse. Hundreds of years later, humanity started to rebuild. The shards of the sun planted themselves on our surface and eventually cooled. Humanity huddled around these shards, harnessing them for warmth and light. And now, with the advent of the sunwells, we can tap into the near limitless energy of these shards. In an odd twist of fate, this new source of fuel has skyrocketed us forward in our technology. The cities built around these sunwells are a hybrid of the ruins of old Earth and the technology of New Terra. We are now ready to fight back against the darkness. All of our pilots tonight will be piloting their own version of their sparks. These are mech suits that allow them to venture into the dusk, into the areas not protected by the sun shards, to fight back against those that revel, that plot, and that worship the darkness. That's good volume. Let me know if that music is too soft or too quiet. I'll adjust it. But as we pan down to the city of Eva Vera, literally meaning life and faith, we will pan down to see the first of our pilots. I'm gonna roll a d6. A 2. Joseph. Where would you be, and would you give us a description?
Yes. Despite this being a highly futuristic setting, Joseph Volodymyr is in a dimly lit study, seemingly illuminated by candlelight, or very minute amounts of solar power. He sits in a large, luxurious chair, book in one hand, a luxury that I'll grab onto later, and a glass of wine in the other. He's like a long person, I guess is the best way to put it. Like, it feels less like he is tall and more that he simply stretches and looms above others. Not by a great amount, but just enough that you feel his gaze is always over your shoulder. Not entirely, bereft of muscle and stuff, but he is gaunt in the face and kind of sharp edges of the chin. And as I assume many other people, he is very pale of complexion, given that the sun exploded. So don't judge him.
What is one thing about the city of Eva Vera that Joseph would find most interesting?
Most interesting is that this is one of the only cities that was able to maintain a large archive post the destruction of the sun. Books, of course, a terrible thing to bring into the apocalypse if there's no light, no naturally occurring light anyway, because one, people are going to try and use for fuel, and two, you can't read. But through some extremely dedicated efforts of some real nasty librarians and archivists, and I imagine it's very akin to the quote-unquote Dark Ages, not to make that too on the nose, where the communication of literature among the people who would help create Eva Vera resulted in there being pockets, and it's not a large movement, it's definitely something that people would prefer digital, I imagine. Audio books. But you can still enjoy the classic feel of paper and leather in illuminated and reflected back into your eye.
Well, as we pan out of the study, jump to that's a 6. I'm going to re-roll over to Corbin.
That is an interesting dichotomy and transition. I'm gonna set the scene by talking about the piece of the city that Corbin finds the most interesting. And what that is, and it's where we find him, is somewhat ironically what is pretty much the hollowed out shell of a church. The walls are still up, the stained glass windows are still there, many of the pews have been taken out and have been used for kindling, but the altar remains. And Corbin is just sitting there, just kind of lost in thought. He, similar to Joseph, is tall and gaunt, though not as tall as Joseph is. His hair is jet black. He is similarly pale, and he is almost always dressed in all black, as befitting the spark that he pilots. And if you were to see him there in that moment in the church, it seems strangely almost like he is praying. To what, you are not sure. But there is a meditative silence and stillness to him.
Absolutely. That will then bring us over to Nikki.
Nikki has probably just finished, not that there's necessarily a formal bar, but whatever the drinking place is, Nikki has probably just finished a fight. Nikki is kind of always jumping at the bit. Probably picked a fight with somebody much larger than them, kind of got their ass whooped, but it's not going to stop them from doing it again. They like to poke, they like to antagonize. And so they're kind of just, wiped the blood off of their chin, and they're kind of sizing up the person that they just got into a fight with, and they're trying to figure out if they can sneak back in to grab their drink because they have been asked to leave. But they're trying to figure out if they can run back in, grab their drink, and finish it before they head out.
Yeah. So would the bar scene be the detail about this city that they'd find most interesting?
No, I actually think that it would be the sun shard itself. Going so much as to sit as close as they can and look as close as they can to it. As a voyager, that's kind of what drives them, is finding the light that's out there. And not in a, poetic way, but it's just something that they can tangibly see and chase after. And when everything else is pretty dark and unknown, they can say, okay, but that's where I'm headed. So they probably spend a lot of time just sitting as close as they can to the sun shard, trying to be near it. Yeah, just kind
Absolutely.
of in quiet reflection.
50-50 shots. That will bring us down to, I know the NPC, Cassidy. Haha, I knew it.
Nice. If I may add on to kind of what Nikki said, not only is it a bar, but it's like half bar, half karaoke joint. And Cassidy, in a kind of like I mean, she'll sing karaoke there regardless, but is kind of trying to, there was a fight over here and is going to be like, hey, look at me over here. So is just doing a very passionate rendition of 9 to 5 on the stage, and is trying to kind of like get the crowd back over here. But yeah, I did write down a name, Rock and Radiation Karaoke Bar,
Beautiful.
if I may. So, yeah,
So,
that's it. She's taking a load off,
is your detail about the city that music has survived?
I think Cassidy's one to, cause she's older. She's probably like older than other Sparks, I would say. She's seasoned, probably like 50s and stuff like that. And I think she gets a thrill out of being able to participate in like Spark missions and stuff like that. But she likes to come back and just like find whatever she can to have new experiences here as well, and kind of like take a load off. So
Yeah.
any kind of like fun activity and stuff like that.
Anything to get out of like your head, get away from the mission to decompress.
Yeah, she's very much a kind of like live in the moment type person, because what she does on a day-to-day basis is pretty dangerous, so why not live it up?
Yeah, you pilot a Spark. That's about as dangerous as it gets.
Yeah. Also, if there can be an environmentally friendly version of Aquanet around, so she can keep her magnificent like curls up, like big ass
There is now.
hair. So yeah, she's also pretty amazed by that. She's like, wow, it's still here, crazy. So
All right, and then over to Caldwell.
Caldwell is a bit shorter but very like small, lanky, I guess would be closer. They look like they should be taller, but they're not. Sort of messy, dirty blonde hair, and you would find them probably sitting somewhere in what I imagine for the city would be like a food district, where there are various maybe not restaurants, but just places where people sit and cook and eat. And they are likely trying new food. They're looking for vintage foods that the older people remember from before. Obviously, in such a time as now, they're having a little trouble finding it. But that is where they spend most of their time if they're not out with their team in Sparks.
What would be your detail of the city that you find most interesting?
They probably find the Sparks like hangars the most interesting place. Because they are just so fascinated by the process and being able to like participate and feel like they're helping something. In these so lovely times as ours.
Absolutely. A true community effort, being that you five are basically the bastions that keep this city safe. Which they probably didn't know who you were when they got in a fight with you in the bar, because typically getting into a fist fight with one of the Sparks would exactly be it would be pretty frowned upon for a society where they're depending on you to live. So I'm sure as you're going in to get the drink, you'd see the guy that you just went toe to toe with, and all of his friends are like, "You know who that is? Who you just got in a fight with?" And he would proceed to come over to you, pay for your drink, and offer you, to drink with you for the rest of the evening. Of course, it's on them.
I definitely when I first go into a bar, I like wrap my hair up into my beanie to kind of hide, kind of make myself not look too much like myself. And so when I come back and I've taken my beanie off, and they offer me the drink, and I just, not saying anything, point to whatever bottle is most expensive, and say I want the whole bottle. And when the bartender has brought me the entire bottle, I will grab the bottle by the neck and walk out with it. I am not here to drink with a stranger.
I love it. Rich, thank you so much. You're so amazing. Thank you for the donation. Going to an amazing cause. You're an amazing person. Go check out High Shelf Collective, y'all. They're a bunch of amazing nerds. All of them. Every single one of them. All right.
Can confirm.
Can confirm. Absolutely. Well, pause on this music for just a second. As wherever each of you are, studying or drinking or meditating, whatever it might be, you'd all feel a sensation letting you know that you're about to be contacted for another mission. It's kind of a buzzing that starts in your temple, and the first time it happens, it's near debilitating. It is a shock to your system that takes over your occipital lobe. I think that's where your eyeballs are, where you can see from.
Yes.
Yes.
Yep.
Haha,
Yep.
nailed it. I'm a doctor person. But it basically gives them control for a few moments of what you can see. And in that time, you'd see a figure hunched over, mechanical limbs sticking out from the rib cage, barely any flesh left. Mostly a figure built purely of machine. Also, thank you for the raid, Artemis. We heckin' appreciate it. For those of us that hadn't met this figure before, this would be a very disturbing scene. But you would all recognize one Tavish Zephyr, the machine speaker for your city. As he connects, sending that spark across your head, starting to feel like a migraine in your eyes. Hello, Sparks. I hope you've been enjoying your downtime. It's time to get back to work. We've located another piece of the old world. Something I believe will help keep this city running smoothly. As soon as you can, return home. I will send the details shortly. Good luck. Do not fail us. And the message would fade, kind of leaving that tingling a little bit in your temple for a few minutes. Xavier, thank you for the donation. I can appreciate it. It's going to an amazing cause. And will you send me a message on Twitch just with your information so in case you do win the dice or the dice box that I can get it to you? Thank you so much. So, with that, you've all been called home. Well, I believe one of you was already in your hangar bay with your various spark suits, all propped up, repaired, and ready to go. As you file in one after the other, you notice that your security console does indeed have a message. A 3D map would pop up, kind of filling the room around you of an underground transit system. They called it a subway system. It's been long since sealed off for generations, for longer than most of you would probably even remember. But Zephyr believes that there is something down there worth salvaging. He's heard whispers from the machines that there is tech worth gathering. Your first job is to clear the tunnels. Once those are cleared, you'll have a moment to breathe before diving back in and recovering whatever it is. As we jump into all of you getting ready, meeting each other's eyes, feeling that usual rush or anxiety as you're about to once again enter the dusk, I'm going to go down the line and ask each of you what your most memorable time in the dusk was. We'll go counterclockwise. So we'll start with Caldwell.
Um, sorry. Caldwell's most memorable time in the dusk was their very first mission after graduating from whatever program they used to train Spark pilots. They were sent out there to just clear out some threats that might have been a bigger threat to the city if left alone. And it was the first time that they ever got to take their Spark all the way out on their own. And they just hold on to that so memorably. Um, so much so that there's a picture tacked up in their Spark of that very battle won.
Absolutely. And Cassidy.
I have a question. Are giant space worms a thing?
You tell me.
Sure, they are. There was a time when Cassidy was younger, probably like pretty fresh out of the academy and stuff or whatever. Like, like one of the first, like back when it's like, ooh, I'm a spark, kind of like I'm hot shit, whatever. Um, that her and her crew attempted to ride one of these giant space worms. Um, Failed horribly. Nobody died or anything, but it was definitely like an almost death, like way too close. Um, but it's a treasured memory of just kind of like, haha, remember when I was young and stupid? Yeah. That she'll kind of use that story to tell the younger sparks, like, don't do that, even though it sounds really cool. Just don't try it. So
Back when you still had that motivation and like that training was fresh, and then you realized, oh, the dusk is serious. We're gonna
yeah,
get killed.
yeah, I tried it and almost died, so you didn't have to. So
All right, Corbin.
So I think Corbin's most memorable moment out in the dusk was, I would say, maybe a year or two after he had become a spark. And while he was out in the dusk, he got separated from the rest of his team and stumbled upon one of the cults. And things did not go well, but they did not go well for the cult. Corbin walked away from that, and there are rumors that those who survived Corbin's attack on them have developed a cult around Corbin now.
I love it. All right, Joseph.
Joseph, his most memorable time in the dusk was probably the first time he ever stepped foot into the Sanguine Spark, which was, of course, given to him when he was bleeding out on the battlefield before. Before the rest of the pilots joined their team, he was part of another, and during action, he was gravely wounded, and through the generosity of another pilot, he was placed into a spark and allowed to survive.
All right.
It's quite memorable.
Yeah, I would say so. And then Nikki.
Nikki is thinking back to getting in the suit for the first time pre-training because this suit was passed on to them from their older sibling and has been modified and sort of updated, so it's not just a rusted piece of metal, but kind of snuck in, and their sibling got them in, and they got into the suit and just kind of took off and started running and used the propulsions to kind of get a little bit of an aerial view and is remembering like looking down at everything and just the excitement of like there's so much out here, there's so much I can't see and so much to explore. Definitely got grounded for a considerable amount of time by their parents for being that risky. Was definitely told you cannot become a spark pilot, and did it anyway in honor of their brother who did not make it back from a mission.
Yeah, I'm sure you were welcome with open arms. Well, as you all are together, you see this 3D map around you. Is there anything that you would like to say to each other, do, or prepare as we get ready to open the city gates and venture out into the dusk?
Would just walk into the space. Good morning, good night, good evening, good afternoon, friends. We have gathered here again. Everybody excited and raring to go, and it is clearly sarcasm. Nikki is not very excited about this right now.
I'm like way excited, dude. Have you ever been to a subway before?
Oh, all right, all right. Well, I'm glad that you're excited. I have not. Have you been to a subway before?
No, but I've heard stories. Apparently, they keep metal worms in them.
Interesting. Perhaps they are related to the smaller variety, only the foot-long ones I've read.
Cass is just in the corner with her feet kicked up, just like definitely lost in a memory and like laughing to herself about things.
But the subway provides an interesting opportunity. Shall see what we can recover.
Yeah, what do you think's down there?
Giant metal worms, clearly.
Oh, I hope so.
And Corbin is just watching all of this, like, silently.
Perhaps we will
With
find
slight
a
judgment.
reason... yeah, perhaps we'll find a reason for Corbin to smile.
Come on, Joseph. That's not possible.
Oh, I wouldn't give up on it yet.
Has Cass shared the worm story with the rest of us?
Oh, definitely. It's probably one
20
that-
times.
Oh yeah, it's one that she's probably a storyteller that tells like certain parts of it the same way each time. So if she was telling it to a new person, y'all could all be in the background just mimicking like the same way that she says it. And so definitely, definitely.
Nikki would go up to Cass. We could try to find two giant worms and try to have a race while we're down there. See who finds
Yeah.
this new piece of tech first.
Now I told you, as fun as that may be, giant worms are nothing to joke about. Trust me.
Stop
I've
trying
told
to
you the
ruin my
story.
dreams.
Miss King, we have nothing but trust in your most excellent stories.
Sure as hell. Doesn't mean that you can go find a worm to ride. I've told you time and time again, so maybe you'd listen to me for once.
I think I shall, but I will have to find something else to write.
What else would there be to ride? I'm trying to think. Do we know of any other like crazy space monsters or anything?
Absolutely. I mean, without the influence of humans over most of the planets, the flora and fauna went wild.
Trying to think.
So,
So, Joe. Oh, go ahead.
um, it, odd, like, odd thing to think about, but like, good morning, good evening, and good night wouldn't exist. Like, in the same context of this world. Like, it would very much be an archaic, like, terminology. So that was interesting.
Would there be giant water bugs?
Absolutely.
Yeah. Nikki is keeping an eye out.
All right. Well, as you all start donning your spark suits,
I, of course, help Miss King out of her seat.
Excuse me?
I
She'll like
offer you a
slap.
hand.
She'll slap your hand out of the way.
Simple, kind gesture.
Well, your gesture just suggested that I'm old. I don't need your help.
Oh, it is not it's not a implied that you are old. Merely that I would like to help you out of your chair.
Here, I got something that you can help me with. Hold my helmet. And she's gonna take her hair and like dip it in, and like it's a 5 minute process of her to like get her hair all up and in her helmet.
No way.
As soon as she gets it on, she's like, "See, now that's how you can help. Thank you."
Always happy to. Offers the helmet.
Caldwell kind of looks at Corbin as if Corbin knows what's going on here.
And Corbin just shrugs and then looks at Joseph and says, Joseph, we've talked about this. Not everybody likes physical contact.
Yeah, and Miss Cass isn't even old. She's probably barely even 50.
It's not implying she was.
We don't have to talk about my age. It's all right.
I would never. I'd rather talk of other things. But excuse me, I must don my attire.
All right.
as you all are in mid process of getting your spark suits on, the door to your garage would slide open. That hydraulic hiss. A about 2 foot tall, spider looking mechanoid just wobbles its way in, very hastily put together from scrap parts. A gift from the machine speaker comes over to you. A small program would start kind of glitching and then display itself above the small mechanoid. It's a program for each of you to install or not install in your sparks, should you choose to, but it will give you a piece of what the speaker can hear. So once you get closer to the technology, you'll be able to hear it.
I think Caldwell installs it, no questions.
Do we have to install it right in this moment?
Yes.
Or is this something that we could like take with? Damn it.
Is this like normal? Like, do we normally have to install something before a mission?
No, but it's a temporary gift.
Caldwell, you put that in your suit, right?
Yeah, I love it when he gives us free stuff.
I'm just gonna follow him. I'm sorry, them. I'm just gonna follow them.
Yeah. I see the mistrust.
No, Joseph is absolutely going to take one as well. He's by now, taken off his more formal attire and got into the skin tight suit to get into a spark, and he'll just casually slide it in to his coffin looking thing before entering it, as it just closes around him to finish his suit up.
Oh my god.
God, your spark's so cool, dude.
It is as it is.
Okay.
A blessing in the curse.
Joseph, can't you just take a compliment without making it weird?
I could make it weirder if that would be your preference.
Oh, I would love
I
for
would
you to
rather
do
you
that,
didn't.
Joseph.
I mean, Cassidy, if you would like to make the very first check of the game, we could do so.
Oh, what kind of check? What are you talking? See, okay, I feel like Cass might. Blair has also played in the game with you, Hoop, where I forgot what it was called, was taken over in Lancer, so it's more Blair doesn't trust Hoop. Sure, I'll make a check. What am I rolling? What am I doing?
Where do we go with Shade?
Okay.
For anyone that hasn't played Nova, it is a d6 based system. Your number of d6s equal to whatever your number in that stat is, which is either sun, moon, or shade. Sun being power, strength, emotion. Moon being dexterity, nimbleness, precision. And shade being practice, patience, observation.
Shade, I have 3, so hee hee hee. 2 4s and a 3. Do we just add them all up?
You take your highest die.
Oh, a 4.
A 4. That is a success with a complication.
Okay.
So you'd like kind of reach out, see the others each grabbing a piece of this, programming and then injecting it into their sparks.
Corbin hasn't. I'm just going to
Other than
specify
Corbin.
Corbin has not yet.
It's a moment of hesitation and mistrust. And you see like the little camera eye from the spider just flick up to you, and you know that Zephyr is watching you mistrust him. But nothing about it seems shady. More so shady than just a random free program, but it doesn't seem malicious or like it has the capacity to take over your spike or anything.
Okay. Once she notices that like the little camera is looking, she'll kind of try to play it off and be like, Zephyr giving us a gift? And she'll just lean down and go, "Thank you, sir," and then plug it in.
Why'd you say that so weird?
What do you mean?
Never mind.
And Corbin, you were going without.
That was normal. Corbin watched Cass, and in seeing that Cass moved forward with it, I think he just kind of nodded and was like, to himself, more, might as well, and he would have followed suit.
It's kind of a cooling sensation of almost like an icy hot patch just on the exterior of your spark suits that melds in and eventually becomes part of the programming that keeps everything running. But with that, the door to your garage would open. You'd step out in the Voyager, the sleek Explorer, the Sanguine, the blood-soaked Can we say vampire? That's not like
No,
trademarked anything,
I'm
right?
not. I'm certainly not a vampire. I'm just probably
Uh-huh.
older than the rest of everyone here, and I
Combined,
want
yeah.
memory.
The
Oh
pox.
yeah, like
The
Vladimir was absolutely around while Cass joined.
the infection expert, the drifter, our resident gunslinger, and the grim, our summoner of a sort. And we'll just leave it at that. But the small crowd has gathered to watch you five, bastions of their defense, walking to the gate, double checking your systems one last time. The massive steel and cement barriers just being pulled apart, grinding against the stone underneath. And you'd stare out into the dusk. A darkness so all encompassing that any light sources you have on you, no matter how effective they may be, tend to be little more than a glow. Anything short of high powered industrial lighting gets very quickly swallowed up in the dusk. With a map in hand, step out. Who would be leading? Beautiful.
I think, yeah. I think Nikki would probably be in front.
Have such a library of music here. Give me 1 second. I'm gonna find it. There it is. Oh, that's so quiet. There we go. The gates to Eva Vera come to a grinding close behind you. Now, in your suits, Zephyr, more easily able to communicate you, would wash over your comm systems, almost like a virus, but a friendly one. When you find it, contact me immediately. It's not that I mistrust your brutish work, but it is a delicate procedure. Good luck.
Caldwell gives a thumbs up to nobody.
Thank you very much, Zephyr.
All right.
I don't like this. I want to take it out. Is there a way to uninstall?
He's
fine.
right.
As soon as whatever like messages or like message clicks off, even though he can probably hear her, she doesn't care. She's like, does that guy freak anybody else out?
It's weird, right?
What do you
Not
mean? Why
that
would he?
weird.
You heard how he talks. Good luck. Like, it's just a little
The
spook.
man lacks most vital organs and is speaking through mechanical devices. You should not be so quick to judge.
Okay, but he's
Joseph
also
is
kind of
right.
mean. He called us brutish. He's not out here looking for this stuff. He's kind of a weenie.
An encouragement to surpass his expectations.
I think he's nice.
It's a different kind of nice.
That is a word.
He thinks we're strong.
We can discuss all kinds of nice as much as you'd like.
Well, sunshine, as you lead the others off, following this map, sticking to the known trails as best you can, you very quickly have to venture off into unexplored pathways. You'd see rubbles of the old world left behind, long since picked through by the exploring teams from Eva Vera. But where you're going, it remains mostly untouched. What is something that you would notice about your journey as you're walking?
I think Sunshine is definitely like head on a swivel and is less focused on following a path, is kind of trusting the rest of their team to correct if they start to wander, but is more looking at anything that's causing movement, anything that could be a threat. Um, and I think that they probably clock some kind of tremor in the ground. Not necessarily under, not necessarily above. It could be a group of something moving, it could be something really heavy, but they notice that the ground is kind of moving separately from the footfalls of them and their teammates.
Do you have a specific subsystem in your Spark that would detect that?
So I have, it's my passive is called Marked, and it lets me at the start of my turn mark any two enemies, but it's about tracking and finding my foes.
Absolutely, yeah.
So that's kind of what I'm leaning into.
Absolutely. Just picking up these just tiny details, even imperceivable to you, you just can sense them. But the others might not even have ever picked up. But yeah, something out there is causing vibrations in the ground.
Um, I would kind of just call out, we're not the only things out here. I know we all know that, but something out here is moving. So just try to keep yourselves aware.
Your advice is always appreciated.
I hope it's
Thanks.
cool.
I admire your strong guidance.
Oh man, we're getting really mixed signals here.
All right. You continue on, occasionally feeling this vibration again and again. But whatever it is seems to be leaving you undisturbed. Maybe preferring to wait, maybe preferring to just watch, looking for the moment to strike. But everything is quiet. Very, very quiet. You eventually
Almost
find
worse.
yourselves standing at the mouth of a wide chasm. One that split deep, deep into the earth. I don't know that anyone has bothered to measure, but you know that falling down there would probably lead to certain death. It also opened up a good chunk of the Undercity. Parts that were left buried, unsalvageable, now lay open. And you know that this is your pathway into what they called the subway system.
So it's like down.
It is. There are like metal rafters and whatnot that have been grafted to kind of form this stairwell down into the chasm, but once you're down there, it is unexplored territory.
I think that's the worm den.
You could be right. Do mm, would we have any like? Could we just fabricate something in our inventory?
Absolutely.
Okay.
I'm going
Can
very much like Blades in the Dark with this. Like, if you want to do a
I'm-
flashback, by all means.
Are we playing pretend in this role playing game?
What?
can I make things up? Is that okay? Or does everything have to be truthful? Um, I think Cass would pull out kind of like the I would say the sci-fi version of like dancing lights. So maybe just kind of like a little hover disc that'll stay with them, but also like emits a little bit of light, not too much, but just kind of enough to like illuminate the area that they're around.
Enough that it gives you a very, very limited view of the area around you, but also if you got separated, it would be a beacon for the others to be able to see you.
I just don't want to trip and fall.
Fair enough.
I would catch you.
Well, thank you.
So,
It's nice.
is Sunshine leading the group down into the chasm?
Sunshine is going to look pointedly at Dolly and say, "You have the light. You want to go first?"
Sure, I can.
All right. Then, Dolly, you also get to make the second roll of the game.
Woo!
My goodness.
Would you roll your
Let's
I should
moon?
have gone.
My moon. Ooh,
That's no
ooh.
moon.
Oh no. Okay. Moon. Ugh, no, 2.
Just place one tentative step on this framework, and it kind of bows a little bit, but seems solid enough. So you put the rest of your weight on it, and you can feel just the metal structure kind of bending a little bit, but seeming to remain solid. Like a step, another step, and then the entire thing starts to just almost collapse in on itself. What would you like to do?
That's not. If I may, maybe I'd say maybe like she has some kind of like grappling hook type thing, and could kind of like when that's happening, just kind of really quick be like, "Oh shit," and like shoot the the gun up, and kind of it's probably like attached to her belt or something,
Mhm.
and maybe
So
Batman utility belt send up type.
I'll give you the choice. You could either mark off a point of health as you were just rocketed towards this chasm and just slam into a wall, or mark off a fuel to, safely emergency use that grappling hook system.
I will mark off a fuel
Okay. Just
for
this
that.
burst of energy as the grappling system shoots out and drags you off to safety. Now, with no more weight on that metal scaffolding bridge, it has stopped. It's bending down the middle. But the rest of you are now separated from Dolly. It it is about a 60-ish foot wide gap between you and where Dolly is currently picking herself up and brushing herself off.
So am I now like up higher,
Down lower. So
down lower?
basically,
Okay,
everyone else is up here, started to go down the bridge, and had to emergency shunt yourself the rest of the way across.
gotcha. Should have shut up. I'm all right.
Sorry, Dolly.
I'm sorry to y'all. I kind of broke the bridge. My bad.
That's fine. We probably don't need it.
Then why did I go down it?
Because you are an inspiring leader.
That doesn't help with what just happened, but I appreciate it. How are y'all gonna get down?
Very carefully.
That's
Joseph.
funny.
Well, I guess I'll sit here and wait.
I'm glad we keep him around.
I'm glad to have you around as well.
Aww. Right? Who
Would
would like
it
to go?
Would it cost a fuel to like fashion some kind of a like just rope to slowly lower myself down? but it's at an angle.
So it's more of a zip line. And I may have you roll some moon.
Could I? Is it too far away to where I could shoot the the grappling hook up, and then if they have some kind of thing,
Yeah,
just write it
absolutely.
down? Okay. All right. All right. All right. Do I have to roll for that? What am I rolling? What am I rolling?
If you are the brace, I would probably have you roll sun to get everyone down, because you are supporting their weight as they are zip lining down towards you.
Okay. All right. Sorry, you guys, if this doesn't work out well.
I would just have Blair roll everything tonight.
That's double sixes. So,
Ooh,
It's fine.
yeah.
total success.
Dolly, so her spark suit, the boots are actually heels, so like heel boots, and she literally like stomps both of them into the ground to kind of anchor herself, and yeah, we'll like shoot that up there, lock it in or
Absolutely.
whatever. Like, all right, come on down.
It is solid. Any of you that would like to take it, you are more than welcome to.
Lodemir
Go.
will let the others go first, yes.
Caldwell will go. I trust you implicitly.
Yeah, no need to roll. It is, you have a sturdy base. It's, Dolly's already spent the fuel for the grappling system. You would simply slide your way down.
Just make sure you like jump off a little bit, because if you don't, then you'll hit me. So just like explaining as they're all coming down.
Sunshine will follow after. And as an aside, Kian, as a player, I would like to put Caldwell into my pocket and protect them for the rest of my life. I am casually
110%.
obsessed. Like, I trust you implicitly. That's all that I want. That is so wholesome. But yes, Sunshine would follow after.
Yep.
Which I feel leaves Joseph and Corbin just kind of standing and staring probably at each other.
After you, Corbin. You have nothing to fear with Miss King at the base and myself as the top.
If you're scared, it
felt-
helps if you don't look down.
It helps if you don't look down.
You should definitely look down. It's not that bad.
Hey,
Try
come
not
on.
to. And a word of warning: try not to have too much fun.
All of your advice is appreciated. And Corbin will
We have such a
jump
nice
off
team.
and zip line down.
And then Joseph will come down.
One after the other, you all land. Your impacts kind of echoing through the tunnel system in the Undercity. As you detach your grappling hook, recoil it back, and start kind of tucking it back out of the way, there's a noise that responds to all of yours. A series of clickings.
Worm sounds.
Why are you obsessed with worms?
Look,
Metal
have you ever-
worms, dude.
You don't want to ride a giant worm, Reaper?
That is not a worm sound. It might be
I didn't know
something
that
else,
worms.
though.
I didn't know that worms click.
I know what metal sounds like, and that was clearly metal worm clicking around.
They likely do not click. And
Also-
Strigori is going to take the front here.
As we move in, Dolly will look at Sunshine and be like, "No, you do not get to ride the worm. If it is a worm, I will not. We can only have so much fun. There is only
can-
so much room for fun."
But listen. You just let me borrow the grappling hook. I get one shot. If I can latch a shot and get onto it, I get to ride it. If I miss, I'll give up. I'll let it go.
Dolly's like thinking about it and he's like, no, the only person that I would allow to ride the worm would be Corbin, because Corbin needs a little bit of fun. So that's the only person that I'd be okay with.
Oh
Maybe
yeah,
you
we've
can
been watching
assist.
for a while. Corbin, have you smiled yet?
No, not yet. I'll let you know when it happens.
Yeah, we'll get there.
And I would not want to deprive Sunshine of the experience that they have been waiting for.
Do you hear that? Do you hear that? It would make Reaper happy if I rode the worm.
I
Isn't
don't
that
want
what
to.
we're here for?
I don't want
I
to
didn't go
report
that far,
back.
but yes.
No one should be deprived of the ride they like.
I don't want to report back that my whole team has died from trying to ride a worm.
Just
That's
one.
not.
Just one.
No, I don't want to report that one person has died from trying to ride a worm. Maybe there's something a
It would
little
be
bit.
fine. I could bring the body back. It would be
Here we
fine.
go. It's like I never left the team.
Are we
Oh my
being attacked?
Just think about it. Just think about it. Okay, it's a good deal. One shot.
If it happens, then we will talk about it. I don't want to
You
hear
don't have.
anything until we get to this point. It might not even be a worm, y'all.
That tunnel's
Sunshine.
clearly worm shaped. I feel like we could agree on that, right?
It's shaped like a lot of things.
What does that mean?
A lot of things fit in circular holes.
It's okay. It's okay. Don't.
Okay. Sure.
Corbin is too pure for this world.
A lot of things fit in a square hole too. Like the
Like
circles.
round things.
And triangle things.
All right. So who's leading?
I did say I was taking the front to face whatever was chittering around us.
I'll go right
Find me a
behind.
worm. I
Really
will
is.
go in the back and try to keep an eye behind us.
Joseph, then Corbin.
I think I'm second to last, just in front of Sunshine.
That puts Dolly in the middle. And then Reaper. Then Sunshine. All right. Strigori, you advance, the sound of your companion's conversation echoing down this tunnel system ahead of you. That clicking would slow and then stop. Down here, it is very, very dark. Your light drone that you have up and flying around you, Dolly, gives off about, normally it's about a 2 foot wide radius of light. It's a decent amount of light. Down here, it's maybe a 6-inch bubble of a glow. Is there anything that any of you would have or like to do to try to combat this supernatural darkness?
I'd like to do a thing.
Yeah.
As a sanguine spark,
Mhm.
there's a certain connection to the vital fluids. Could I extend my senses and try to feel the movement and rushing of interior liquids to
Ooh.
learn where our enemies may be hiding?
Yeah. I feel like that's a dusk action or a shade action.
Shade,
Sorry.
yeah.
Yeah.
Can I cast shade? Best on that's a 5.
5. That is
Ooh.
a success. Feel the life pulsing from your companions. which stands out very clearly. There is other life pulsing in the darkness, waiting. Every step that you make, they take a step back. Every pathway that you pass by, every fork in the tunnel system, you can feel this life down from each of these tunnels. Whichever one you pick, they seem to just pull back, scatter, and wait for their moment to strike. Give me just one
They
second.
are pulling around us.
Is it stone or is it metal worms?
No, they are quite alive, dear couple.
That's unfortunate.
Give me
Oh.
just 1 second. I will be right back.
Okay. We'll just riff.
It's true.
Either-
All right, now we are in
There's
control of
one
the
thing
story.
I'm good at, it's riffing.
Oh, that should not dissuade us from proceeding with caution, of course. You all are aware of how to do things quietly, yes?
Sunshine is going to
Obviously.
yell from the back. What was that, Strigori?
Yeah, I'm pretty much an in and out kind of like, get in, spray this plague whatnot all over the place, and then get out.
I don't even have to touch that, my goodness.
Well, you're not supposed to. It's bad for you. That's the whole idea.
Well, I suppose one must be very careful where one sprays then.
Oh no, it's fine. It's they're in little capsules, and they're pretty concentrated little puffs of stuff. It's actually a new formula I've been working on. Had them install it before we left.
I very much look forward to
All
hearing
right.
of your
Sorry. There we go.
progress with it.
Oh, you'll see.
But yes, Strigori, you'd sense that life pulsing out from lots of places, lots of smaller things. Well, smaller comparatively to what it could be. They feel like they're about the same size as you.
Hmm. Do they feel like they're gathering in any particular way to attack us? Perhaps like trying to ambush us from the rear?
Very
or...
much ambush tactics.
Okay. I stop and try to and indicate for the rest of the group to pause. And I'm hoping to bait them out. And I say in a very calm voice, we have a calm system for just our suits, right?
I'd say close range comms, yeah.
Yeah, good. We're all close range. You're all staying close, right?
Caldwell bumps into you.
We might want to try and lure out these attackers before they jump us at a less opportune time.
I could puff them.
They won't attack for you to puff. You must throw them out with the sweet honey of appearing weak or uncertain or stopped.
But we're
Who's
all
that-
so strong.
Who's at the very back?
Sunshine is.
Sunshine. Would you mind perhaps seeming unawares? I know it's a very difficult thing for you to do. You're very observant.
I appreciate that, Strigori. I just want to remind you, this is Sunshine speaking. I just want to remind you, I am very squishy.
I
But
have
Sunshine,
noticed.
Sunshine is going to lower their hands, kneel down, kind of just pretend to be tying their shoe. Not something that can actually happen in their suit, but and is going to kind of out of their peripheral see if they can see anything using my passive marked mod.
Are the rest of you creating some space, or are you still kind of keeping this like right next to each other?
I think Stone wants to keep a little closer, but isn't trying to like be in the way as they get ready with a plague capsule.
How big did you say this like hallway we're in is?
It gets about 20-ish feet tall. It is like a circular tunnel system, and there have been multiple like spider webbing entrances and exits to this path that you've been walking down.
Um, if like on the side, not to get like too far away from the group, but like on the side, if there's some kind of, I don't know, rock or something that's like slightly up,
Yeah,
just a little bit more elevated, um, Dolly would probably run over there and jump up and like kind of crouch on that with
sure.
like guns ready.
All right. And Sunshine, as you just keep that hunter's eye out, just waiting, watching as the others move to give you a little bit of space, to give the appearance of being separated and vulnerable. You would catch movement, creatures using the darkness to just glide around, starting to encircle you.
Um, I would just whisper in the comms, hoping that we're still close enough because I'm not looking at how far everybody is, and just say, it's more than one thing. They're gliding, doesn't look like they're touching the ground.
Are they getting closer?
Are they getting closer? Are they staying to the shadows?
Very much getting closer.
Definitely trying to get friendly.
Oh, well, that makes two of us.
Yeah, let's start this parade.
Let them get a bit closer till you are properly within range. Then, stone, by all means, spew.
All right. Well, at the moment, they are near to Sunshine. Any of you that wanted to kind of remain closer, you would be. Uh, I'm sorry. These creatures are close to Sunshine, which means they are right on you. Any of you that wanted to kind of remain as close as possible, you are at the near distance. Any of you that wanted to get a little further away, a little more separation, you would be at the far distance.
Perfect.
Could I have been in near,
Yep, absolutely.
or just I'll be close to Sunshine if I could. Actually, that'd be
All right.
awesome for me.
I will leave that.
Near is where I want it to be.
I'll also say that Dolly, like whenever we started talking about this, Dolly turned off her little light thing.
Mhm.
So
So at the moment, none of you can really see anything. You are relying on each other's communications, on your senses, on your sparks senses, as we are going to dive into combat.
Oh, beautiful.
At the top of combat, each of you gets to act, and then the enemies get to retaliate. At the end of the round, any slain enemies will potentially drop either health or fuel, which you can determine who those go to. If any of it is unclaimed, it simply fades away. It is not usable if no one claims it. So, who'd like to act at the top, the very first round of initiative?
I have a passive ability that triggers at the start of combat.
Yeah?
It is virulent. My plague infects an enemy at the start of my turn, but because I have the plague bringer mod installed, it infects 3 enemies in near range of me.
Oh. Just gonna mark
And
3 of them as infected.
yep. And that's just a passive thing, so that's not an action, correct?
Yeah, that just happens at the top of the turn.
Okay. I have a thing I can do, but if anyone else wants to go, then by all means.
I think it might make sense for me to go, if that's okay. I would like to. Oh my god, where'd my character sheet go? I'm going to use a fuel to activate my. Oh god, I lost it. I can't remember what it's called. It is called. I believe it's called Seek. So at the start of my turn, 2 foes are marked. Are there? How many are there? That
Unknown.
Okay. I'll just mark the two that seem to be closest to me. And then
Sure.
I'm going to, that's my passive ability. And then I'm going to use my Seek Power, which I get to choose one marked enemy, and they take +1 harm from all sources until the start of the next round. So everybody who hits it gets +1.
So in your HUD, your heads-up display, while everything is mostly pitch black, there's just two creatures that would be outlined. Just the
Beautiful.
like picking up their essence. They look almost feline, like they are man-sized, multiple limbs, and a long tail that seems to whip back and forth with some kind of blade or piercing attachment on the end.
Sunshine would just say, "It's a big, ugly cat with a lot of limbs. Stay away from the tail," and would go ahead and use a fuel to activate Seek. I would, as best I can, indicate which one that is. I'm just going to say the one on the right, but I would try to indicate to the team. I know that we can't see much, so I don't know how I would do that. But
I would say that you would even transfer that that outline to the rest of them where they would get just kind of this vague feline shaped white essence outline.
beautiful. Thank you, Hoop.
Yeah.
So everybody can see which one it is that will get +1 harm from every source. I'm going to move back a space because I don't want to be that close to these things.
Moving to near instead of close.
Yes. And we only get one action, is that correct?
Correct.
Okay, that is my turn.
All right.
Okay. I have a question for Hoop then. Are all of these enemy things within close to each other?
Unknown.
Okay, fair enough. Then using that Seek, I would like to spend a fuel to use Spread, which compels the plague to spread. I target an infected enemy within near range of me, and it infects all enemies within close range of it.
Okay, yeah.
And because I have the viral link mod, for every enemy that the infection spreads to, that target that spread it takes that number of harm, plus the 1 for Seek.
Gotcha. One of them would just pulse out that infection and just let out a screech, which would die off into that clicking sound. It would take 2 harm. There's only one other close enough to infect. But now all the ones in the immediate vicinity are infected. Would you like to move, or are you good at near?
I'm staying at near range
Perfect.
because I gotta stay here.
Strigori?
I mean, if anyone else has something they immediately want to do, I have things because these people are these kitty cats are close.
How many of them are lit up? Like, there's
One.
2 lit up, 1's lit up.
You can see the one that is like called out for taking extra damage.
Okay. Okay. And then, how many just got infected? Or we don't know?
I don't think you'd have any way of knowing.
Gotcha.
It is
Gotcha.
pitch black.
Would that be something I can see and can communicate with my allies?
I feel like you'd have a sense of the amount of infected creatures around you. Yeah.
There are 4 of them over there at the moment. All of them are infected. One of them is more damaged than the others.
Okay. If I could possibly, maybe.
Absolutely, please,
Okay.
by all means.
Yes, please go for it. Yes.
Happy.
I'm going to do take aim on the one that's more damaged.
Sure.
And because that's the one that's like lit up. What is it? Deal harm. So that would be deal harm equal to my shade, which is 3. Just immediate to that one that's more damaged.
Thank you for unintentionally reminding me, but as the adrenaline starts kicking in and these creatures, start engaging in combat, they do have an aura where everyone's shade is reduced by 1.
No.
Down to a minimum of 1.
Okay, then it's 2.
So what's this ability?
Take aim.
Oh. Just pull out
So,
the
yeah.
pistol, just flip it around a few times. And it takes 2 harm, you said.
Yes.
So 3 for being extra harmy.
Does it die? Question mark.
Does not.
Shit. Okay. Well then, never mind.
Okay.
And then I'll.
There'll be
Oh.
moments where the tunnel is briefly illuminated from the shot that goes off, and that would just echo down the tunnel.
Dolly will say, if I could get killing shots on some of these, that'd be real nice. Which is code
That would
for.
be so helpful.
Which is code for. I have an ability that affects if it gets, like, if one dies, then it'll do kind of like transfer damage. So just saying. Which, if we've done missions together, y'all have seen this.
Absolutely.
Mhm.
All right. Gregorian Reaper?
Strigori, if you would like to go first, you can.
All right, cool. However many are near me, in close.
In close, 4.
Oh, perfect. Okay. Strigori's the suit is going to a variety of pipes are just going to gush with red liquor, liquid, ichor, liquor. He's a wine vampire. And his and like on his fingers, the talons will just grow to extreme length, and he is going to basically take that, form it into a long sword, and swipe in this large sweep around him. As I use Bloodblade, I'm going to use 1 fuel, and I'll spend 1 health to activate its blood effect, which means they're going to take harm equal to my shade. So everyone around me is taking 2 harm.
That's reduced by 1?
Yes, that would be reduced by 1. I had 3 shade, but then someone took 1 away.
The first one is just cut down. The rest would take 3 total?
2 total.
2 total. Got it. They all hiss at you, this guttural, almost like blood-filled hiss, and then resume clicking. All of them clicking now. This loud, boisterous sound starting to fill the tunnel.
Yeah, he just lets the Bloodblade drop with a splash, and then the bloody hand just kind of flicks it off towards one of them.
All right. Reaper.
One of them is down, you said.
Yes.
Well, I would like to use my passive ability, Raise Dead. And I would like to
Crazy.
start pulling some strings on my newest thrall.
Haven't even seen these creatures, but you can feel the death occur. So what exactly does this do?
So this allows my thrall to be revived with 1 health, and it can act with my powers as I choose. And I think what I'm going to choose to have it do is I'm going to activate Pull Strings and have my thrall lash out at one of their brethren that is in close range to them.
Yeah,
Maybe using that barbed tail.
absolutely. Just pulls itself back up, kind of this janky half movement, and the tail, still flopping, just lashes out at one of the others.
And it is horrifying. The sound it makes is absolutely bone-chilling.
Yeah.
It is not silent, and that echoes throughout the tunnels.
Sure does. Well,
You're so cool.
the end of the player's turn, and the enemies get to go.
Ouchie.
Oh, it'll only be me with the ouchies. It's fine.
Alright, we are brand new to the system and we're jumping up to the combat page.
They all can just not.
It's true. They can all be
choose
dead, and I can just puppet them all.
An enemy
Forever?
per spark. Two of them are going to stay and do a Strigori. Other two are going to take off and go for others.
My opportunity attack. I took class in fighter, I promise.
Uh-huh. Well, the two that go after you, they're going to use their move separated from the pack, as you have no other ally within close range.
Oh, I'm my own best friend?
Mm-hmm. And they are going to do 4 harm. As they just... One starts to reel up to strike at you, and then quickly just feints off to the side, while another takes an opportunity to lash out with the tail into your back. And then the first one comes at you with claws and fangs, absolutely just flanking you left and right, trying to tear you to pieces.
Absolutely.
The two that broke
Many
off.
ouchies.
The rest of you are all, I believe, at near range.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I was considering myself at far.
Absolutely. Works for me. They are going to kind of take this position. They're still at near range from you, but kind of more circled, more away from the main fight. And you would actually be able to see little bits underneath the fur starting to glow. This very noticeable, fiery light. And they open their mouths and just spew this gas that the moment it contacts the air, it immediately ignites and just fills that area with this noxious flame. So it is splash 1, which means that... Oh, they gotta target someone. I don't know that they would have noticed any of you particularly, so we'll go with Corbin. Corbin, you're going to take the brunt, which means you will take a total of 4 harm, and the other 2 of you at this range, Sunshine and Reaper, would take a total of 2 harm.
Holy shit.
Dolly will probably just go, oh, dragon cats, that's a new one.
All right.
I love this job.
One enemy did perish that round, so I need to roll to see if it dropped anything. Even though it did come up, I still believe it counts as an enemy dying.
Oh yeah, because it's not an enemy anymore.
There's a 5, so that is 1 fuel. Who would like to take it?
Loot, loot, loot.
My fuel also counts as a health. So, please.
Yeah.
Yes.
By all
Alright.
means.
Grigori, it's
By all
yours.
means.
That sound, that building cacophony between you and the clickers causes that rumble again to shake these tunnels. Something has caught on to the sound. And it's back to you. Who would like to go?
I'll go really quick. So, Strigori's been, hit in front and then knocked down, so he's gotten down onto one knee as they're both probably gnawing at him. And I guess everyone else is pretty concerned with the cats that are attacking y'all. But both of the creatures just kind of momentarily wince as I'm going to siphon off of both of them as this series of strings have just protruded into them. They are now beginning to suck in blood back to the suit for a spark. So I am using my blood effect. So thank you all for the help. That helped greatly. To affect this to all close enemies. So they are both losing one and I'm gaining one. So I spend one to gain two.
That means a second one is going to drop.
Oh, perfect.
There's only one at close range to you.
I stand back up at full height as the blood of the one just completely leaves its body emaciated and forms a full blood cloak behind me. The laminar effect holding it together. Not a vampire. Not a vampire.
What's that?
How many of these homies are still infected?
2.
2? Beautiful. I'm going to spend a fuel to use my fight or flight power. Every infected enemy either immediately deals harm to their closest ally or runs away from you for a round. Your choice. This is GM's choice.
Oh, they will absolutely run. 100% they are running. They don't want any of this. This was supposed to be an easy meal.
Stone, did you have them all the infected take harm at the beginning of your turn?
Oh, yeah, no, they have, those two also take 1 harm at the start of my turn because of my passive.
And yeah. Does that remove their infected? Or are they just...
No. They get to be infected until they die.
The one next to Strigori and one that had spewed the igniting gas at you, the two of them just turn and start sprinting down the tunnels.
Bye.
Alright. Anyone else?
I would like to raise the other one that dropped. I would like to do that with my passive move. And I think actually I will similarly to Strigori use Siphon. Although it looks creepy in a different way. Because I now have these 2 thralls up and you can see these ghostly puppet-like strings on them. And then you just see Corbin pull with one hand and the string goes taut. And then the creature drops, like the string's been cut. And it is a lifeless husk. And I will take the health that comes from that.
Absolutely.
You know I could give it to you, but I do not.
Dolly? Sunshine? Dolly, did you go last round? You did. Yeah.
So if I am... Oops, I clicked. If I'm far range, then I can only move up, like...
You move up to near.
Yeah, okay. So if I move up to near, how far are they from me? Still... Or I
Near.
guess, wait. If I move up to here, okay.
They would be near.
They're near. Okay, so I will do that. And then, how many targets are in near range? 2?
Yeah, since they've been engaged in combat, yeah, I'd say you could clearly mark out 2 of them.
Okay. I will... I'll pick whichever one looks more hurt and do hip fire. And then that'll just pick, whichever one looks more hurt that's in near range, and it does 2 harm to it.
That's enough to take it out.
Dang it! Why didn't I use my other one? No! Okay. That's so good. That's so good.
We can say you use the other one.
Okay. Oh, okay.
We
well,
want to
that's
show
the
off
case.
your cool stuff.
That's true. If that's the case, then I don't move and I shoot it. I shoot it first. At. Sorry, the font is so tiny. Why did I do this to myself? So yeah, it's still 2 at one of them.
Yep, that takes it out.
And then it'll ricochet to and do another 2 to somebody that's in or to an enemy that's in close range to that enemy.
That's enough to take it out.
Can it ricochet again?
I think it says once.
Okay. Like, can it just keep going? Like, pew, 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 pew.
The flash goes off, and the bullet just rips into one, and then it rips into the other, and they both just drop.
Sweet. And then I will move up to near.
Alright, Sunshine, I think it's just you.
Do we have any enemies left?
There's one. One that has not fled or been killed.
Okay. I'm going to use my passive ability to mark it again.
Mhm.
And then I'm going to use my destroy power. So I
Jesus
will
Christ.
I'll fire a salvo of homing missiles, and the marked enemy automatically takes 2 harm.
This thing is probably 10 feet away from you in this, like, tunnel system, and missiles just eject out and then just slam into it.
And I'm standing right there. I want to watch this thing.
It's at 2?
Yes.
Okay. It's still standing. Oh, I'm sorry. There are 2 enemies left. 2 that have not fled or been killed.
Okay, so I'll still, if one of them looks more hurt, I'll attack that one.
Yeah, that's the one that I attacked. Or that I
Okay,
marked as
but
harm.
then the other enemy, just for purposes, is still marked. Nothing happens. It's just for me right now.
Beautiful. They are just illuminated on your display. Well,
So one thing I hadn't mentioned,
Mhm.
Hoop, is I did take the mod. God, which one is it? It is the one that activates Haunt whenever one of my thralls die for any reason. And so that does mean if there are any enemies in close range to the one I just siphoned from,
Howlers.
they are not able to act on their turn because they are so terrified by the screams and horror.
Howlers is the mod.
Yes.
they would have been able to would have been unable to activate. And then they were killed.
That's fair.
So now they're never going to act
wanted
again.
to make sure.
Well, these 2 are absolutely going to turn and flee, but they are going to leave a party gift before they do, because they know that something else is coming.
I'm so sorry, Hoop.
Mhm.
I misread. So because I marked both of them, since there were 2 enemies, both of them would take 2 harm. So the other one took the 2 harm as well.
Gotcha. They are going to just take that opportunity as that shaking gets more violent. Little bits of rubble starts coming down from the ceiling. They take the opportunity to lash out quickly with those tails. So they're going to put 2 damage into... Let's go Reaper and Sunshine. As these bladed tails just whip down your spark suits, and then they turn and start sprinting away from you.
Hi.
That's only 2 enemies. I get to activate an enemy per spark. The creature that has been causing these vibrations pauses for just a moment, watching this fight ensue, smelling the blood from the Eclipser creatures, as well as you, and takes this opportunity to just reel back and then just pull its way down the tunnel, just causing walls to collapse. Its maw just opened and hoping something just gets in the way for it to bite.
Worm.
Is it a worm? I was about to say.
Guys, look.
Would
Some
you
Alaskan
all...
bullworm.
Alaskan bullworm.
I'll roll your moon, please.
Moon?
No.
Oh boy.
5 out of 6.
Nice.
That's 3 6s. OMG. I love
I also got a 6.
OMG, a hit
OMG, I hit 3.
6, a 5, a 4.
What'd you get?
I think that was 3 6s. Yeah, I also got a 6.
Oh, Corbin, you got a 6?
I got a 5.
5. Sorry. Stone, what'd you get?
I got a 6.
So the only one that failed was Sunshine.
Nah.
I got it. It's still a success, but
Sorry, success with a consequence.
yeah.
Oh, I'll trade with Sunshine.
The rest of you just take that that moment as this rumbling starts to get more fierce, and you can see something just burrowing its way through the tunnel towards you. Just take off. Just sprint out of the way, diving to safety down one of these tunnels. Before we get to Sunshine's consequence, none of you can see each other. You don't really have a ton of time to communicate. It is mostly reactionary. There are multiple tunnels that you could dive down, that you could flee down. If you have a D4, would you please roll it? If not, I can roll for you because I have a whole pile of dice here in front of me.
Am I rolling
A
as
2.
well?
You are not.
Oh, okay.
That's a 1 for Stone.
A 1,
Also,
3. Strigori.
a 2, a 2, and a 3. Beautiful.
Oh no.
Do I have time to do anything, Hoot?
What would you like to do?
I don't know if this is feasible. You tell me.
Mhm.
But I have a power called Swap, where I can switch positions with a marked enemy in near or far range. I don't know if I would have time to do that, and I wouldn't know if the enemy is out of range of this thing that's trying to eat me.
They would absolutely be near or far, yeah.
I want to pick the one that's far, and I would like to use my power to swap positions with it.
let's go.
Okay. So
Beautiful.
mark off a fuel, and I will have you roll a d4.
Okay. That's not a D4.
At least one of us is gonna be alone in this. I'm almost sure of it.
That's a 1.
A 1. Grigori, you also rolled a 1, right?
No, that was me.
That was Stone. So Stone and Sunshine, the two of you up here, or Stone, you start running off down one tunnel. You see one of these cat-like creatures whip its head and start getting ready to square up with you solo, and then it just disappears, and Sunshine appears in its spot.
Aw.
I think it was Dolly and Reaper that both rolled 2s. The
Yep.
two of you dart off down one of these tunnels, and Strigori, you are in a tunnel alone. As this thing rips through the walls, causing just chunks of this underground tunnel system to fully collapse. And effectively separating the 5 of you into 3 groups. But we're going to go to a quick break, give everyone a chance to grab a drink, stretch your legs.
Right when
and,
you split the party?
How
Well-
could you, you monster?
Coop loves splitting the party. It's his favorite activity.
We'll come right back with the second half of the last charity game of our charity event to support the Trevor Project. Just a reminder that at the end of the stream, we'll be giving away not only a beautiful set of dice from Need More Dice, which I'm going to throw on the screen real quick. Those dice right there, they're so pretty. They glow in the dark. They are beautiful. But we are also giving away a Hex dice box from the company that I just had up from the Elderwood Academy. They have absolutely beautiful products. And every $10 donated gets you added to the drawing at the end of the stream. So if you can, obviously don't put yourself in any financial binds, but donate to an amazing cause and maybe win some cool stuff. But we're going to go take a break. And we'll see you soon. Bye, buddy. And welcome back. Just another reminder in case you are just joining us now for the first time. The stream is for the charity project. The Trevor Project is a charity event for the Trevor Project. I know words. Every $10 gets you added to a drawing at the end of the stream. We will be giving away a set of dice from Need More Dice. They're glow in the dark. They're very, very pretty. As well as a hex dice box from the Elderwood Academy. They're beautiful stuff. So yeah, support a great cause and win some cool stuff. Oh, and of course a year subscription to Legend Keeper, a campaign management program. It's amazing, very cool. Check it out. But we're not done with combat music. Thank you for the villain point, by the way. I'm going to roll a d4. Down the number 1 tunnel, we have Strigori. Down the number 2 tunnel, we have Dolly and Reaper. And down the number 3 tunnel, we have Sunshine and Stone. No.
Flip it. I'm 3.
Yeah.
1.
So down the 1, we have Sunshine and Stone. 2, we have Dolly and Reaper. 3, we have Strigori.
Really quick, before you kill us with the metal worm, did the last enemies from the previous fight, did they drop anything? Was there anything
yes,
that we could
thank you. You dropped 3 of them. Thank you for reminding me. That's a 5, and a 3. I think that's just 3 fuel, I believe.
Yep. All fuel.
So 3 fuel, yeah. Who wants it?
I would love to take one, if everyone's okay with that.
Yeah, if all is well, I would take a drop of juice.
There's 1 left.
Anyone else need one? I do
Go
get
for
a
it.
half. Excellent. Because I have the leech, I am going to put that into HP as well.
Alright, it's official. Gila RPG has messaged us, and they loved our game so much that they want to offer copies of this game for us to give away, so we will be throwing that into the prizes at the end of the stream. So if you want a copy of this game, Nova, donate to a great cause. And it's a super fun game, so... yeah. Alright, now I roll a d4. I already forgot who's down to what tunnel, but that's okay. We'll figure it out after I roll it. 2!
Of course it's 2. Of course it's 2.
Yeah, great. That's so clear. That's so...
I
We can clearly see that it is indeed 2.
That is us. That is our, yeah.
I can,
Yep.
I can
Yep.
kind of see it.
Yep.
Alright, this is the energy we're going into the back half with.
Who's down 2? The 2 of you.
Hey,
Great.
Hoop.
Yes.
Hoop. Just a question. A lot of bodies dropped.
Mhm.
Could I have raised up one more thrall before we ran?
You could have, and it would have immediately been eaten.
Okay,
That part of the battlefield doesn't exist anymore.
that's fine. That's
But-
fine. I still have one. I have one. It.
2 of you. Aw, and Gila RPG is in chat. Thank you so much for hanging out. You made an amazing game. It's so much fun. The 2 of you split off from the others. Take just a moment to start catching your breath. And this thing just rips through the wall, continuing its rampage. The only thing you can see is just an open maw and rows upon rows of teeth. Almost like a shark's mouth, where there's just different rows at different angles that all just run back this thing's massive throat. What do the 2 of you like to do?
I hate to say it, but I've been here before.
Well, that's good. That makes one of us.
Is it like super? You said it's super coming
It
down.
is charging towards you. It is currently at near range.
Near range. Ooh, no. Gotta read all my things that say near. I'm gonna do a stupid thing. And
We love to see that. We love to see that.
and I'm gonna run to close range.
Run towards it. Okay.
Just in a silly,
and-
goofy mood.
And then I'm going to fan the hammer. And yeah, just kind of do the whole like and to current fuel. I gotta take one down. Oh, there's only one target, right? There's only one target. Okay. Just checking there's not two scary worms. They sorry, reading. Target takes 1 harm, but then my fuel equals, so actually it takes 2. Takes 2 harm.
Okay.
Because I have the hammer forged, so equal to my fuel. I guess that was a little bit more stupid than I expected. But but still, I wanted to use the power. It's cool. So yeah, she'll kind of like run forward and like to the side, so where she's in close range, and just kind of like fan the hammer, and then it does 2 damage, 2 harm to it.
Beautiful. Take one step closer, putting you in between Reaper and this thing, and just start unloading rounds. You are at close range now as you shoot it, and its blood just starts splattering out. Everywhere it hits, it just starts sizzling, just melting away the stone and metal. So you take 1 harm as it gets splashed back towards you.
Oh,
It's getting this action I just took is getting stupider by the second. I'm so happy. I'm so happy.
Reaper.
Yep. I would like to activate Possess. And that means that it is going to take 2 harm. And I am going to give it the command to stop. And then I'm going to look at Dolly and say, run.
Dolly, you are going to take 1 more harm.
Yep.
As just
Yep.
I picture just like tendrils, as if you were just like ripping down razor wire across it and then yelling at it to stop.
Yep, that sounds about right. Like just kind of making a net around it.
Dolly's gonna take off running. Be like, well, damn it! Why didn't you tell me you were gonna do that?
You seem to have things in hand. You said you knew how. You've been in this situation before.
Yeah.
I was trusting your judgment.
Thank you. As you should. Continue that. Just because I've done something wrong doesn't mean I've done something wrong. Doesn't work that way.
I see. That makes sense.
So it's stopped. It still does get an action.
Ever.
Yeah.
Is
that's
it like
fair.
a 1 round thing that it like it'll like listen to you for like a round?
It does not specify. It just says that I give them a command that they must obey.
So forever. Perfect. Love it.
Forever.
Good.
Yes, we'll never have to deal with this again. It's fine.
Yeah.
So good. So good.
It will stop and starts just thrashing back and forth as if it was underneath this razor wire. Is slamming itself into the walls. Whatever's behind this maw is just tearing this tunnel to pieces. It's going to bring down another chunk of the tunnels onto everyone. So would you all roll your moon, please?
That's a 4.
Success, success, success,
5.
success.
5.
The
Total success.
two of you that succeeded with consequence will just take 1 harm, as you were just battered by stone. But otherwise, you sprint, escaping the collapse. And eventually, silence. Be able to pause, catch your breath for another moment. Now fully taking in the fact that you have no idea where anyone else is.
Well, this is less than ideal.
It feels, I know it doesn't work like this, but it feels really unfair that the two of us who wanted to ride the worm didn't get the worm. Right?
Oh, I was gonna let that be all you. I don't know if any of them got to ride it, but if they did, I hope they survived.
Oh, I'm sure. We have faced worse things than this.
I was gonna say, do we hear this over comms? Are we close
wouldn't.
enough? Okay.
Do you, my dear, dear friend, have any ideas on how to reunite with our companions?
That's an excellent question. And you know what? I commend you for your leadership attitude. No.
Oh, we can't go back that way because the tunnel's collapsed, so I guess we're walking this way.
Well, you know what? I bet actually this is a metal worm tunnel, so it probably all goes to one place, right?
It's a good
I
point.
mean, why would big hunkin' worms dig such funny little tunnels if they weren't, going somewhere?
They all want to go home. That makes sense.
Exactly. So if we follow this, we'll probably meet up with them.
I'm going to use my passive marked ability. Do I sense 1 or 2 foes?
There is nothing around you.
Okay, cool. Well, I think that you have the better idea, so let's just follow the path, see where it takes us.
Yeah. And then that program that Monsieur Zephyr gave us, is that something that we activate, or is that just something that will activate when we get close?
Basically, it's like a subsystem that you could either tune into or choose not to. If you are close enough to catch whispers of whatever he was hearing from this machine, you'll hear it.
As we walk, I'd like to be passively running that subsystem to see if I can't pick up on the direction.
What did it do with you? Okay. I have 5 D4s in here. Where are you? There it is. You guys were down tunnel 1?
Yes.
You start tapping into this programming, which your system would mark as a virus, but everything that comes from your machine speaker is marked as a virus, so it's not anything unusual. But yeah, you'll keep your eyes and ears open as you walk. What about the rest of you?
I'd like to use my blood sensing abilities again.
Okay.
I could roll that shade one more time.
So I'll give you an option.
Oh.
I already know what you're going to pick, but I'm still going to give it to you. If you are searching basically up to far range, no roll required. It would just give you like a pulse out of searching for life. If you want to search past that, I would have you roll.
We're going beyond.
I already knew what you were gonna pick. I just had to ask.
I got
Plus
3
ultra.
shade. I'm confident. My top one is a 4.
That is a success.
Consequence.
The further out you reach, the more you start to feel like that hit in your stomach that maybe the others didn't get away from whatever that was, because you're not sensing anything. And then you hit that far range and you start sensing that heartbeat, that very human heartbeat of at least two of your companions. And then you reach past that. A text that is very draining, that can leave you open to assault, to anything that wanted to leach into your mind at this moment, with it that spread out, would have very little resistance to do so. And you feel another heartbeat, and another, and another, and another, and more, and more. These aren't these same monstrous heartbeats of the creatures that you just fought. These are human.
Interesting.
I'll give you an option of either marking off of fuel, as you basically started burning out, overclocking your systems to do this, or a harm, as it takes your own life force to try to search for this source.
I'll take that from blood.
Okay. Anything you'd like to do?
I'd like to start heading towards the closest pair of heartbeats that I can find.
The moment, you have exactly one path.
Then I'll do that until I can better narrow that down.
All right. Reaper and Dolly, two of you having escaped this thing twice, find yourselves with a breather, not knowing if any of your companions survived. What would you like to do?
Right, looks like we have two options, either worm or no worm. I'll leave it up to you.
I would like to go with no worm.
Good choice. Okay. Um, down this way, and she'll bring up the light again.
And Reaper will just nod and start moving that way with the one thrall he still has just kind of floating right there behind him. Which, apologies to Dolly, really unsettling because it's just emitting this constant haunting wail and is just a very unsettling presence to have in this tunnel with the two of you.
Taliel's just like elbow elbow Reaper and just be like, that'd be a hit at karaoke.
Why?
It's like a joke. It'd be funny because it sounds
Oh,
really bad.
I see. Do you enjoy karaoke?
I love karaoke. You should come with me sometime. I'm taking you next time, all right?
No, thank you.
Do you
If I
have
say play,
uh, Dance Macabre mod?
me?
I do not.
Oh,
So your thralls cannot move.
Tragic. Okay. I no longer have a thrall.
no.
Yeah. But
That's
it's,
okay. I'll get more.
it died the way it lived, quickly.
They,
So, all of you press on down your individual tunnels. Who's down 3?
That would be
Mr. Gory?
sanguine.
Mhm.
Gory. You walk and walk, occasionally reaching out again. You still feel at least two of your companions. Not sure exactly who it is, but you can still feel them. They are moving, kind of parallel to you. That pulse, that wide pulse that you had done, has now receded back to just far range. So the that indication you got, all of those life forms, you got from below you, quite a ways below you. But you'd hear a voice call out to you. Who's that? Hello? Hello?
Easy, friend. I am but a traveler.
There was this tunnel collapse. I don't know where the others are.
Others?
Do you have any light source, or are you still just going off of feel?
Oh, I'm absolutely going off of feel here, and
You are getting a life force. It's not a human life force, but you're picking up a life force. I was with the others. I can't remember their names anymore, but uh, yes.
what are you?
What do you mean?
What are you? A simple question.
I don't understand.
Explain yourself.
I just did. I'm lost. There was a tunnel collapse. I'm just trying to. I just want to get out.
Where?
The surface. Where where you
Wait.
came from, right?
Where on the surface do you come from?
That's easy. I'm from. Wait, why can't I remember where I'm from?
Oh, because you're not a human.
What are you talking? Yeah, yes, I am.
I know the effective range and resting heart rates of most humans. You are no human. Your circulatory system betrays you.
What am I?
That is what I was hoping you could tell me. And I will, at this point, get a small little pocket light kind of thing, just tap it on my suit just to project out.
It looks vaguely human. Very much of the same vein as what Zephyr looks like. Mostly machine in the shape of a human body. Organs replaced by mechanical components. Limbs hastily attached. Doesn't seem to recoil or even notice the light.
A machine speaker.
I don't know.
Strigori approaches, going closer, turns off the light to not be rude. What can you recall? You seek to go to the surface, to return amongst peoples?
Yes, yes. I just want out of here. Feel like I've been down here for years.
Perhaps longer. I want to like start walking towards and around it.
Yep.
Whatever this the machine speaker is.
It's... The metal is certainly blood-stained, but there's obviously no organs, or if there is any blood left, it's probably part of the machinery now.
Do you remember much about the accident?
No, you're mistaken. We were caught in a collapse, and I just need to find the others and leave.
Show me the collapse then.
There was a big mouth. It tried... No, it did. It did eat some of them. Some of them weren't fast enough. But some of us got away. And then it was darkness. And then you.
Then walk with me a while, friend. And let us see if we can find others.
Would you call that a sun roll? Playing on off of emotions?
I'd say maybe like I could maybe justify this as a shade, like calm, practiced, and
Patience? Yeah, okay.
all right. Oh no, that one went wild. Anyways, highest one is a 5. Didn't even matter if I rolled that one.
Yeah.
It ended up being a 3. Shitty ground dice.
He's a little
But yeah.
slow to move at first, but does a little unsteady, takes a few steps, like he's having to relearn how to walk. And he does have to physically pry his feet from the ground. Unknown how long he's been standing here, but he was physically fused to the ground underneath.
The surface is a long way, but I have allies close. If you stay with me, you may return to the surface yet. And if we find your friends, we will make sure they are safe.
Okay. Yeah. Make sure they're safe. Alright. Jump back over to Sunshine and Stone. I'll let one of you roll the d4 this time.
Would you
Oh,
like
you.
to do it? All right.
I don't want to be responsible for this.
I deserve to be responsible for this. That's a 1, baby.
Oh, 1. Beautiful. That means we're gonna have to come back to you.
Oh no.
Excellent.
That's
For
always
the
good.
record, Sunshine is singing really poor renditions of Frank Sinatra songs, hoping that somebody else will start to sing. As a Filipino person, this is really important to me that it's Frank Sinatra. If you know, you know.
You sing
but
really good.
You're just so sweet. Thank you. Thank you, Cobble.
Of course.
Well, Dolly and Reaper, that leaves either 2 or 4 for you. So why don't we just 1, 2, or 3 is the 2 result, 4, 5, or 6 is the 4 result. That's a 6. 2 of you have been walking now for a while, hearing just the occasional distant clicking of those cat-like creatures. Do either of you have the programming active that would let you hear the whispers of the machines?
Yeah.
Yes.
You would start to hear what apparently your machine speaker hears constantly, which is this mixture of grinding metal, almost a mechanical cry for pain, in addition to this deep wailing, this horrid, lost voice that just constantly calls out.
It sounds like home.
Huh?
Great, it sure does.
Where are you from? And remind me not to visit. And I mean that in the nicest way possible.
It sounds disconcerting to you.
Yeah. 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 Uh, can we tell, like, where the
Absolutely.
chatter?
Yeah. Especially with the technical virus installed in your systems, you can track it pretty easily.
Are we going towards it? I guess. I guess that's why we're here, right?
I was going to ask you that, but yes, that was my assumption.
Fun. All right, let's go towards the creepy metal noise.
You pass by a few
Yes, let's go
forks
towards the
in the
screams.
tunnels. Those creatures, those clicking noises, occasionally get close enough where you start to feel concerned, but very quickly move off. Your pathway leads down this almost wide spiral arced tunnel. And you will eventually start to see light. It's very faint, but it is a wide glow.
I think as soon as we see light, Dolly's gonna turn off her floating light. And then maybe kind of go more. It's like I'm gonna creep a little bit, just in case, you know.
Ahead of you is a massive room.
Right.
Most
quiet.
of it fully collapsed, just decaying from time and the tremors. But what little of it is still standing and in working order looks like some form of power generation. It is still very painfully, since you can hear it, it is still producing power for something. Though it is in agony to do so. There are small mechanoid creatures that kind of crawl around it, doing their best to tend to minor repairs, whatever they can do. You see one pipe just burst. This inky black fluid just starts spewing out, and one of these creatures crawls up to it and just like plants itself around the explosion, and two more come up and just like start soldering it in place.
How big did you say it was?
This generator is about probably 20 by 20.
Ooh.
The room itself is massive. You can't even see the ceiling from where you are.
And Zephyr wasn't expecting us to like bring anything back. It was more
He
like,
wanted you to let him know what was here
oh, gotcha, 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 gotcha,
and
gotcha.
to clear the way so that he could come here safely, or send someone here safely.
Right. Well, I think we found what we were looking for. The only problem is now there's a big worm in the way.
There are other tunnels.
That's true. That's true.
Because you do have the programming up, and you can hear what they're saying. About a dozen of these little mechanical buddies would all start like hopping down, unsteady on their very decrepit, rusted limbs. But they would all start just screeching out, "Intruder! Intruder!"
Oh no! Oh no! Are they coming at us?
They aren't. They are looking at something else.
Shit! 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 Shit!
And now we can jump over to Sunshine and Stone.
Oh no! Oh man, that was very nice. Nicely done. Nicely done.
The two of you marching along, singing our songs, feel another rumbling. This time, more centralized at a point. And everything is shaking, but there are points where the floor is so decrepit and just ready to fall apart that this tremor actually causes part of it to start cracking and then give way. And what you're peering down at, players would know this, but it is probably what uh, your companion Strigori was sensing as you are looking down at dozens of life pods, dozens of humans, and one figure that's just very slowly hobbling his way in between them.
I got a question for you, Sunshine.
What's up?
What's the value of human life to you?
Is that human life trying to get me killed?
It very well could.
I mean, it starts out at a pretty high value, but that starts decreasing real quick if I gotta die for it. What about you?
Well, I'm just thinking if those humans are being used for something, we can, I can take care of those right quick if it's, detrimental to our, safety.
Does the thing that's walking around look like it is also human?
It's really hard to tell. There is such little light, and at this distance, it looks just like a mass of a person.
We
I
could
would
try
like.
to take that thing on.
I mean, it seems like the only sentient one here. Everybody else is asleep.
I think that whatever that thing is drawing from the people in the pods. So I just
Like,
figured, go ahead.
I'm gonna activate my passive marked ability, and so I was using it, and now I am not certain that it works this way because this thing hasn't attacked, and this is specifically to mark foes. So I don't know that it would ping. I think I would get a sense of like the shape and the size of it, but I'm not quite sure if it would actually like.
Do you consider this thing a foe?
I mean, I'm pretty fucking scared of it.
I think if you
Maybe it's
consider
nice.
it an enemy, then sure.
I'm gonna consider it an enemy at least to keep track of it. Um, I mean, do you want to try talking to it first? We could try to have a conversation with it.
How far down is the drop?
30 feet?
Will that hurt me if I drop down?
In your spark suits, you should be fine.
I mean, I'm willing to have a chat if you are.
I'm gonna let you take the lead, but I won't swing until you do. I promise.
Okay. And then Caldwell just kind of drops down from the ceiling.
I am also going to drop, and I would like to scan and see um, if there's anything else. I'm not necessarily using my marked ability, but is there anything else not in the life pod in the room that I can see?
There are machines, uh, 10 to 15-ish feet tall, that kind of line the walls. Some of them look functional, most of them busted and completely unusable.
And machines not like Sparks, correct?
No, like giant, like the server room type machines you would see from like a '90s movie.
Got it. Okay. Then I'm just going to keep my eyes on this thing that's walking around and make sure that I can keep Stone in my sights in case he needs me to do something, and I'm going to follow.
Hey, what's up, big guy?
Sunshine absolutely cackles.
A familiar sensation for the two of you of your temples starting to buzz. You have to brace yourself because you know that's accompanied with a sudden migraine flash. But it's not. This figure does stop and turn to look at you, but instead of assaulting your mind with this intrusion of vision and voice, it just modifies the room. It kind of restores things back to the way that maybe it sees everything. The walls are pristine, the life pods functioning perfectly, the machinery at full tilt. A soft white light bathes everything, and your vision of this person would change to a tall gentleman in a long white lab coat who just looks at you. Welcome. How can I help you?
Well, you seem like a really reasonable guy.
Would like to think so.
Hey, yeah, what you got going on here, bud? Don't normally see pods out here.
You must know. I was tasked with preserving life. I will do so with every breath in my body. Now I ask again, there's something I can do for you.
That depends on a number of things. First, are you gonna kill us if we ask you for help?
Why would I try to kill you? Are you here to kill me?
Listen, man. I got no problem with you. I'm perfectly willing to turn around and walk away. But we are looking for something.
Did they forget manners on the surface?
What kind of manners?
At this point, you two would also hear that intruder wail from the machinery. Everything that still has any function would start crying out intruders. And Strigori, I will give you the choice. You have two sets of companions, both about to face a different threat. Who would you like to go to?
Jesus Christ. Holy moly.
I'm going to flirt with either of them, so I'm down to leave this to a coin toss.
Sure. We'll go with 1, 2, or 3, and it's Stone and Sunshine. A 4, 5, a 6. It's Dolly and Reaper.
I gotta take a drink first.
That is a 6. You can't see it. Yeah, you can. Haha. That's. Whale, do you have your the virus program that lets you hear the machines. You have that open. Yeah.
Why? Of course.
Then you would
Always.
hear the blaring of intruders, and you would know that it's coming from not too far ahead of you. You have to take a slight maintenance access ladder down. But as you peer down this shaft, you are staring at the generator room where Dolly and Reaper are. Apparently, at first it looks like just these little automatons are starting to charge your companions, and then they charge past them.
Are they going to the worm?
We'll find out. I'm going to kick off the combat music.
I love that worm. Sunshine, do you think we could take that worm back?
I think we can talk about it after we get out of whatever the hell's about to happen.
No, he seems like a nice guy.
So we can start. We'll start with the room with three of you. These little automatons just start streaming down towards the tunnels, and there's this jet of light that kicks out and just consumes a whole swath of them. And you hear this maniacal laughter, followed by, I think this is it. Yeah, it's got a bunch of them.
Is that
Good evening. Could I help you with something?
Shugori climbing down the ladder.
Oh, he's not climbing. He's sliding down like it's a stripper pole.
Wait, what just did the stream of light?
Well, coming up the tunnel, just kind of like stepping on the husks of these, burnt out automatons now, is a human. Just cloaked in like fuel tanks with one arm fully converted into just this flamethrower like tool. Body just covered in either mutations or scars or what flesh there is, it's like tattooed up. Oh. Shit, I didn't think there'd be anyone down here.
I'm sorry, you were looking for something, friends.
Oh no, we found it. Look,
Oh.
we don't have to do this, you can just leave peacefully.
He had to look back to his companions. Beast was never an option, friend. The only thing you have found down here is an early grave. Conveniently placed so deep underground. And he'll start rushing.
You would all recognize now a Hellion when you see them. These are people that did not embrace the sun, the shards of the sun that came crashing to Earth. They chose to embrace the dusk. They work and operate in the darkness. Their purpose is to sabotage humanity's growth.
Yeah,
Oh,
fuck
fun.
those guys.
You're at far right now, Strigori. You can move to near.
That works for me.
Any action?
Action-wise, I guess I will,
So you also don't have to use only your actions that spend fuel. You can do other things that would constitute a sun, a moon, or a dusk roll.
Mm-hmm. I guess I'd just like to try and attack the whatever systems he has in his flamethrower to try and take that out of the equation. Because
Yeah,
I can make sharp claws. I have blood powers.
absolutely. Why don't we call that a moon? That seems like very precise work. Or sun, even, because, just brute strength.
Yeah, whichever's clever here. They're both 2s for me. There's gonna be a 1 and a 2, so no.
You just reach out, trying to find some little weakness with these claws and just focusing a little too hard. You don't see the other hand just pull out this small, like, expendable canister, click, and then just absolutely just beam it towards your feet where it will land, explode, and just fill the near range in a gas.
Are we all so far?
I think right now you would all be near, so you'd all be encompassed in this gas now.
Cool.
Okay.
Cool. Can I use my grappling hook?
Yes.
I would like to shoot him in the thigh with my grappling hook
Jesus Christ.
and then pull.
I love it.
I definitely
Amazing.
think that is Moon. That is accuracy from a device that's not meant to be this accurate.
Come on, which dice? Okay. Fuck. That's a 1 and a 2. No, it was gonna be so cool.
The grappling hook does impact, and he just points that flamethrower down and just melts it. Your grappling hook is gone.
You just hear Dolly go, "Ah, my baby."
Would you like to move?
Yeah. Yeah, she'll jump. And she'll jump back
Far?
to far.
All right. Reaper.
I think I'm going to go with, and I guess we'll decide what exact role we'll use for this, but I'm thinking with an intimidate role. Because I think what Reaper is going to do, rather than activating any of his powers right now, is simply say, "My friend, do you have no idea who is standing before you? Are you not familiar with the cult of the Reaper? Do you want to become a part of my horde?"
That is definitely a sun roll.
Holy Nikes.
That is a 6, baby.
Yeah!
He will just like stop mid-step as he was just absolutely strolling towards you. Just lock eyes with you. We'll get to his turn. But you can see the wheels turning. Well, brings us over to Stone and Sunshine. The two of you see these metal bulkheads leading into this room starting to glow a superheated red as something on the other side is cutting its way through.
That seems perfectly normal. Does this tall gentleman in front of us seem like he's going to attack us?
In fact, that vision that he was sharing with you would fade. Everything returns to its dark and dingy state, and you would see the figure almost identical to Zephyr. A body made of machinery, kept alive through alternative means. Would explain why he has the same ability as Zephyr. And he would just turn and start slowly walking towards the other side of the room.
Is he hooked up to all these pods?
He isn't. He does have a life support system built into his chest cavity, but he's not connected to them.
Okay, then I think Stone's more worried about the person who's clearly carving their way into this room. Think. Sunshine, if you have anything you'd like to do, you can feel free to go before me.
If I use my what's it called? My marked ability. Can I spot the flamethrower man person?
If the two of you would like, you could let the person on the other side of that door take their turn and then go. Because at the moment,
absolutely.
they're not in the room yet.
Sure. I'm so afraid.
Caldwell will turn to Sunshine. They're gonna get infected right when they walk in here. I mean, it's kind of silly the approach they're taking to this.
Okay.
I trust you.
Then I will jump to that creature. Or a series of creatures. As that door finally just gets superheated to the point where it full-on melts. Just liquid metal dripping down the wall. And that flame finally bursts through. And it's almost a reptile-like head, but massive. Elongated snout, almost like flat to a point. There are hellions like strapped to the top of it and to the sides of it that are just screaming these war cries. As soon as the door is down, you can now hear this chanting of burn, burn, burn.
Cool. How close are we to the door?
As close as you would have wanted to have been.
I'll be near to the door. And as they come in, how many? Is it 2 hellions and 2 mounts? You said.
Just one lizard-like creature.
Okay, and 2 hellions.
Yeah.
Or just the one. Okay. If it's just 3 of them, then they all get infected at the start of.
Technically, they're one creature. For
I see.
healthful reasons, I'm counting them as one creature.
Gotcha. Then they will get infected.
So you're near?
Yes.
Sunshine, you also near?
Sunshine is let me double check something really quick. Damn it. Yeah, Sunshine is near.
Okay. You're going to use the move Feeding Time. And this thing, as soon as the door is down, just starts pulling itself into the room. Like multiple reptilian arms just grabbing onto the liquid metal door, pulling its body through. Its maw opens and tries to snap down on the two of you. So you have 4 points to remove. You can choose either losing fuel or taking harm. In any combination, as long as you take 4 total.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're gonna take my health from 3 to 1. And then we're gonna take my fuel from 5 to 3.
Oh my god, I can't do math. I'm gonna take my health from 3 to 2, and I'm gonna take my fuel from 5 down to, what is that, 1?
2.
2, thank you. Can't do math.
But now the 2 of you can go.
It's brilliant. It's beautiful. Cool. Cool. I'm going to spend a fuel to use the power symptomatic. I get to impose a symptom upon the infected. I can either subtract the harm it deals, increase the harm it takes, or I can stop it from moving, and I'm going to stop it from moving and back up so that I am not close with this thing anymore.
So you are now at far range.
Yes. At the moment.
Okay. Sunshine?
I will also take a step back because I'm afraid.
I will back up.
passive ability marked the. Do you still want to count it as one? I can
Yes,
mark
it
that
is still
for two.
one creature.
Oh,
Okay.
right. It also takes 1 harm because my turn started.
Beautiful.
So the creature is now marked. And I am going to use a power to activate a hollow spark. So I pull out this kind of like little circular disc and I just throw it at near range to me, which would also be near range to it, I believe.
Yep.
The marked enemy will attack the decoy. Hollow spark ends. Oh. Did they technically, they went first and now it's our turn?
Yes.
Or was it our turn first and then?
Yeah, technically we just swapped you two.
Damn it. Okay, fine. Poop. Whatever.
Whoa, hey.
Ruin my plans.
Did that fade at the end
okay.
of the turn?
Yeah.
It's fine. It'll stick around till next turn.
Okay, cool. So I am going to deploy it. So the marked enemy will attack the decoy, and then it disappears at the end of the round.
Beautiful. All right. The only one left is the Flame Bringer that is facing down the three of you. Who just looks you in the eye, Reaper. Fuck this. I don't need this in my life. Not today. And it's just gonna turn the flamer onto that expanding cloud of gas and just unleash a jet into it. Which I think is gonna miss Dahlia, because you moved to far range. So Strigori and Reaper, the two of you are inside of it. And it would be 3 harm, but because of the Unleash Hell move, it is going to be 5 harm.
Ouchie.
So I'm down.
Down.
Yeah.
Oh my god, no!
Well, both of you get to use your supernova abilities right now.
Alas, I cannot, because I have no thralls.
This is so bad!
Mine goes, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, so instead of like going and being knocked down, the ground is gonna like shake briefly and like a coffin will just appear and clamp around Strigori, and it's just gonna like release steam as liquids are being re-injected quickly into it.
You start to just get melted into this superheated cloud, and the coffin just snaps shut.
All good, all fine.
And then he's going to turn and start heading back down the tunnel where he came from. He doesn't know what that cult is, but it's not worth it. He'll come back.
So to like res, do I have to? That's like my action, right?
Yep, just one action.
Okay, I will. I will res Reaper. Since
So, end of the round.
Strigori's got it.
No enemies went down, so there's no loot. We would jump up to the top of round 2, and yes, Dolly, you just run over. Yeah, say that the cloud is faded. Otherwise, there'd be no way that you would reach your ally, and just, I actually think it brings you up to like half health.
Oh, nice.
That would be good.
An ally may spend their action to bring them back to half their health and fuel, rounded up.
Nice.
What does this look like as Dolly is reviving Reaper?
I don't know why, like, the first thing that came to mind was, like, an adrenaline, like, EpiPen type situation. Just kind of, like, stab, and then... Yep. Pop up!
And I think Reaper does the classic like Undertaker sit up, and is just staring down the hallway where that figure disappeared, doesn't even seem to notice Dolly, and just says, "Oh, he's marked. I will find him."
All right,
Love
that
it.
was really kick-ass, but you might want to wait a little bit longer till you bring up the whole cult thing. Maybe when they're a little weaker. I know it's kind of your thing, but very cool. You got him. He's marked. I support you. Go.
His time will come. Everyone's time comes.
Oh, I feel like I should be more worried about that.
No, Dolly, you're fine. I will not reanimate your corpse unless you ask me to.
Thank you so much. Oh, I would like to
Reaper,
keep my corpse for next.
as you stare off at this figure that just walks off down the hall, letting out another just burst of flame, laughing maniacally as he does. You whip back around to look at Dolly and see that the room is starting to catch. The generator is starting to burn.
Coffin's just gonna open 2 ways, and Strigoi will step out. Well, that was not enjoyable.
I will never get used to that either.
It just sinks back into the ground as the rubble just fills back in. That looks like a problem.
Yes, everything is on fire.
I had a friend with me. Where is my friend?
Stone and Sunshine, the power is starting to flicker and fluctuate in your room. The life pods are blinking.
Caldwell will turn back to the big hulking man. Just go, "Hey, you want these people alive, right?"
I'm going.
What do you mean you're going?
He's still
This is
just slowly just wobbling his way across the room towards another bulkhead.
Are you leaving?
Totally ignoring
Can I
him.
use these people as cannon fodder?
So Reaper and Strigoi, the two of you still do have an action.
Where is my machine speaker friend? Where did
He's
they go?
staring at you from the stairwell that you just slid down.
Come on now! I thought you were going to help us save your friends. And I'm walking over to the fire. Oh, this is probably a stupid idea. I'm going to apply the best fire-resistant material I can. I shoot the fire with blood. As he just holds out both hands, and, jets of red sticky liquid shoot out.
Why is it sticky?
Yeah. Give
Kinda
you
sticky.
a roll if you'd like, or you could just spend a fuel and just have it succeed.
I'll spend a fuel, but can I also spend a blood to have it succeed without
Doubly?
consequence?
Yeah,
I mean, I do have ability that when I do things, it has a blood effect. So yeah,
absolutely. Just
cool.
whatever fluids were injected to you from that coffin are now just spraying out over this generator.
It's absolutely blood.
Remember when Dolly said that her most memorable moment was riding a worm? Yeah, it's changed now. I think it's
He's like-
this.
Using I'll use
Yeah.
the blood to justify. He's not just expending all of. He's like sending it around like a, from fire to fire to try and hit them all like a waterbender. It seems like he's kind of conducting.
Reaper, the fire does seem to be out, though the damage has been done. The generator doesn't look great. It doesn't sound great either. It sounds like it's dying.
It's not really my realm of expertise, but I suppose I would want to see what would need to happen to save it, since this does seem to be important.
Your realm is death and reanimation.
It is. So I guess the question I would have is, should I let it die so I could reanimate it? Or should I try to intervene sooner?
That is absolutely up to you.
So I kind of like the idea that you both just see Reaper standing there, watching this machine clearly struggling and suffering. And rather than acting, he just waits. And it isn't until he can feel it die that he activates his abilities and brings it back. Recognizing he could bring it back wrong as a result.
I would definitely call that dusk. I think that is the absolute embodiment of patience.
Alright. That is a 6.
Let's go.
The two of you from the other room see this figure finally reach that bulkhead, start to press buttons, get very frustrated, and then just take one claw and just smack the side of it. And the bulkhead finally, with great reluctance, would open up. A little bit of smoke pouring into the room, but otherwise you are staring through the bulkhead into the other room at your three companions.
Oh, hey!
Oh, guys.
Hi, guys!
The three of
Hi.
you see the bulkhead open and see your two companions staring down a fire-breathing lizard. Which,
We made a friend!
Stone and Sunshine, you can still act. We'll get back to the generator.
Alright, well, this guy clearly cares about these people enough to worry about that generator. So I'm not going to infect them so I can get many damage points on this man. Start of my turn, he does take 1 harm.
Up to 2. We're doing, no, 3, because he's marked, right?
He is marked, but I haven't used the power that adds harm.
Stone will turn to Sunshine and say, hey, get your pot shots in. We're gonna see what happens.
I don't want to volunteer myself for this, but if you need to infect somebody and it'll help.
No,
Okay.
that's not what I'm gonna do. We're just about to find out if this guy's a fighter or a flighter.
Sunshine is going to use their last fuel point and out of fuel to activate destroy. So because they're still marked, if they weren't marked, I marked them again at the top of my turn. They will take 2 harm automatically.
Okay.
Oh my god, no. Can I cancel that?
Yes, by all means.
I start reading and then I skip the last sentence and then I keep fucking myself over. Because my hollow spark is still up, so they're going to attack that.
Mm-hmm.
So I will instead use my last fuel point to activate Seek, which will add the +1 harm until the start of the next round.
Beautiful.
And I'm going to... Yeah, I'll stay where I am. That's my turn.
So the 2 of you are staying at far range.
I have not done my full action yet.
Yeah.
But I am I do have a question.
Mhm.
I know you're using 1 HP pool for these guys, but do they have separate attacks as separate creatures?
No.
This is so sad.
Well, instead
Can
of
I
having
convince
like
him?
5 actions, they only have 1.
Yeah, but my powers work best when people can hit each other. I'll spend a funny little point to activate fight or flight and see if they run away, or maybe he hits himself. That would be funny.
Yeah, the Hellions are literally tied to it. They can't run, so they would just start just like frenzy slashing at this giant lizard creature. So they take harm that the creature would deal, right?
Yeah, so the wording is every infected enemy either immediately deals harm to their closest ally or runs away from me.
Yep.
And then they do take +1 harm from all
Yes.
sources, so that would be included.
Thank you.
Hey guys, if you have to tie yourself to it, it's probably not a good idea. just letting you know now, guys.
They are screaming in just fury and confusion and also eagerness, and that chant of burn, burn just gets louder and louder. Well, they're gonna go and attack the disc,
Yes.
which does nothing. And is it this turn that they can't move, or is it last turn?
That was it was for that round.
Okay, so this round it can move.
Yes.
And it will do so, just pulling itself into the room. It's just massive alligator-like claws just stepping on these pods and starting to bend them down under the weight as it continues its march towards you. It's back to you. All of you now could get together. The 3 of you in the other room. If you spend your move, you could get to far range, which is where Stone and Sunshine currently are.
I would like to do that. Jolly will run in and say, "See, now this thing you can ride." And
Already
then
got 2 riders.
Or
He's already got 4 riders.
what? Confused. But she'll take aim. She'll spend pin. Yeah. So, oh, is our shade still knocked down or no?
No.
Ha ha ha. Good. Then I'll deal 3 harm to
Ooh.
it.
which is 4 harm.
Oh, which is 4 harm.
Yeah. It is officially frenzied.
But is it dead?
It is not dead, but it is frenzied.
Okay.
Sunshine, it's probably best if this thing doesn't have 2 people to attack, so why don't you go on and get out of here?
That doesn't feel right to leave you alone.
I'll be fine.
So, Dolly, that was the end of your turn? It is going to take an action immediately at the end of your turn from being frenzied. And this is fortunate for your companions, unfortunate for you.
For me?
Yeah.
Okay.
It is Berserk. It is currently Berserk 9.
I don't even know what that means.
which means that its feeding time is going to do 13 damage to you, Dolly.
Holy.
I'm down,
Ow.
but I do get to supernova. It takes 2 harm. Basically, as it hits me, it gets hit with bullets of sunlight, and takes 2. Is that the only? That's the only enemy we're dealing with, right? Okay, yeah. Then it takes 2 harm,
It's
and
the
I'm down.
bullets just start ripping out of Dolly just instinctively, and then Dolly is just and disappears.
I'm not just down. I'm swallowed. Let's go.
It's still your turn.
Mine?
Your ally's turn.
Okay, I was like, I don't think I can do anything from that.
How far is it now from
If
those of
you-
us in the opposite room?
If you move, you'll get to within far range.
Okay.
So it passed us to get to Dolly?
It can attack up to. It couldn't reach Dolly. It would have had to hit either Stone or Sunshine.
It doesn't have to.
No, that's okay. Eat me. It's fine.
I
mean,
wanted to eat me. I would love
Good
to go
trying
down.
to.
1, 2, 3 is Stone. 4, 5, 6 is Sunshine. That's a 2. Stone, you take 14 harm.
I
And-
go down
and
and I
probably swallowed.
supernova. That's fine. All infected enemies take harm equal to the number of infected enemies.
1, 2, because of the ability.
It would be if there's 5 of them total and we were counting them as infected individually, it would be 3 total.
Technically, it's just 1 creature, but I'll give it to you because you just got eaten.
Hey man, whatever you want. I'm fine.
You are now in its digestive system.
Not ideal.
It
Poop.
put the
Yeah.
virus inside itself.
Hoop. I know this really isn't the way my powers work, but I would really love to resurrect Stone while they are inside this creature. That is something I would like to have happen.
Oh no. Wait, oh my god. That's messed up.
Stone, are you willing to be resurrected?
A question, for personal reasons, asking for a friend. Am I being resurrected as a thrall, or am I being resurrected as a guy in his suit and a lizard's stomach?
Since you can't technically die as a spark, it's not a true thrall resurrection. I would just count this as Reaper's action to revive you.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Pick me up.
Awesome. Then that is what I would like to do.
The generator, since this is technically the end of Reaper's turn, did die for a moment and is reborn in undead machine spirit, which should not exist. A true abomination of the modern day. Yeah, it is chugging along and it seems to be growing much stronger.
Perfect. I'm sure it's fine.
Yeah. Anyone else? I think we still have Sunshine and Sugori left.
all you.
Okay, so to be clear, there are 4 riders on top of this giant thing.
Technically, it's only 1 creature. But yes,
Okay,
there
yeah.
are riders on it.
All right, still super cool. Super cool. So I'm going to move to get into far. So Sigori's going to move up, and then I'm going to activate Cauldron, which means I turn into a cloud of bats.
Like a vampire.
What? No, like a cool person who could turn into bats.
And drinks blood.
Well, I didn't drink it. Maybe only like several times. You can't confirm
All that blood the right type,
Any type's my type.
like a vampire.
Maybe.
Uh,
Why don't you let me suck you and find out? But it takes me.
Uh-oh.
Lets me go far. I can move to a target in far and deal 1 harm to all close enemies at location. So he'll just go to a burst of bats and then explode out. The bats kind of going extra sharp as he reappears on top of the worm. I am now riding the worm.
Cutting not only the lizard-like creature, but also the riders, just slashing everything. Alright, think that just leaves Sunshine.
Absolutely enraged that Strigoi, don't get me wrong, very, very sad that Stone has died, but very distracted by the fact that Strigoi is getting to ride this thing when Sunshine is not. I would like to also climb on top and punch one of those guys in the face. I have no fuel, so we gotta resort to just hand-to-hand combat.
Let's see that sun roll.
Okay. I think I have 2 and 7. Yeah. That's a 5.
That is a success. I'll count that as 1 harm. It's kind of just start punching people.
It looks like I am intentionally trying to swing, and really what I'm trying to do is climb over to get to Strigoi to push him off because I want to be the one on top of the worm. I'm a spiteful little shit, but it looks intentional. Somebody just gets like clocked with an elbow as I am climbing over all of these things.
Well,
Are you guys riding it?
Oh shit, Stone, are you okay?
Yeah, dude, it's very wet in here.
We'll get you on in a second. I got something really important I gotta do.
You've done enough harm to the riders. If the 2 of you that are on it would like to both make a check, I would need both of you to succeed. But if you wanted to, you could attempt to subdue this creature.
Hell yeah.
Let's do it.
Both of you to succeed. It sounds like Sunshine is going off of a sun roll, pure emotion, and Strigoi maybe a dusk roll.
Yeah, I'll roll in the shade.
Okay,
I have practice with subduing large creatures. It's really weird. Every time I say anything, everyone goes and like closes their eyes. I don't know what's going on.
I got a 5.
Joseph Vladimir is just very experienced.
Will you just roll?
I got 2 5s and a 6. Suck my worm.
Okay, I know that one was an innuendo.
In your window.
Come on, man.
Stop shoving. We can both write.
The riders are either beaten to a pulp or just cut to ribbons. And even the harness that was keeping them connected to this thing has just been severed and has just fallen to the ground. The inside of it just coated with spikes to keep this thing angry and just wanting to drive forward and attack. But now it just stops and breathes heavily. There's just these plumes of gas coming out of its mouth and then just going up in these little puffs of flame. The head just full on tilts to look back at the 2 of you, its long snout whipping out over your heads. And it is just very confused. But doesn't seem as aggressive.
I'm gonna give it a little scritch behind the ears. Now I feel bad.
So
Stone is still inside of it.
Help!
just so I'm getting this straight, Strigoi and Sunshine are riding the fire lizard.
Mhm.
Reaper is controlling a metal.
The
Metal.
generator. Yeah.
Yep. And
Mhm.
Stone is inside said fire lizard.
Correct.
Okay.
Mhm.
Great. Great.
Average Thursday
Good.
night.
It's
Yeah.
very warm in
Yeah,
here.
it's fine.
I was just
We're
checking.
going to get you out. Spit it out. Like, give it a kick.
This is
What?
cooler than riding
What?
it.
Oh,
Yeah.
you're about to get a whole lot more. Out! Out!
Just expels just a pile of very volatile, very flammable mucus. And there's Stone in the middle of it.
Hey, what's up?
Dolly's gonna walk over and be like, Stone, are you okay?
Hell yeah, dude.
All right.
This is the
You-
best mission we've ever been on.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. It is pretty cool. She'll look up at the other two and be like, great job, I guess. Sound.
Well, thank you.
I am very afraid to ask this, but how are you sitting on the lizard in relation to how I am sitting on the lizard?
Sitting on
Don't
the
be
lizard.
weird.
Sitting on the lizard.
Don't be weird.
I
Don't be
have
weird.
never been weird this whole game.
Joseph, keep it together.
No, he's standing like the other riders were and has the ropes in their hands, kind of like dune sandworms.
Okay. I'm gonna just like grab your legs and try to push you off.
You're mean.
I don't know if I need to roll for that. But I thought about it first too, so I would like to roll with
Oh.
Moon.
I'll roll a moon against that.
Sure.
I got a 5.
I got a 6.
Yeah.
Just off the edge. Land and up to you, but could just explode into bats.
Explode into bats and just appear behind Sunshine again.
It's
Just
my
like
fucking fire
lurking
lizard.
behind it. That looked like it hurt. My goodness.
Well, you.
We're not allowed to
Suddenly-
bring that back. As it's against code.
No, we will have to release it.
But he needs help first. We need to like patch him
I'm
up.
sure he could find
Give
his
him
way
some
out.
cuddles.
Sunshine.
If you don't mind, would you please get out of my laboratory?
I thought it was the fire lizard.
Do mind, actually.
My
wait.
brother's virus reeks from all of you. He's not welcome here, you're not welcome here.
Oh,
Oh, does
This was
anyone
a brother feud. That's why
now.
we're down here.
Has anyone activated that, by the way?
yeah, well, yeah, absolutely. I used it.
Anything happen?
Nothing bad happened.
Oh,
Machines just screamed at him. Apparently.
Also, without us, your generator would be toast, buddy.
Without
scrapped.
interference from the surface, we'd have been undisturbed.
That's not true. Those Hellions were here for that thing.
They are your people.
They are not our people.
Not anymore, no. They could have been hanging out in the dark for too long.
You cannot tell anyone of this place.
what are you doing down here?
Serving life.
What kind of? I'm sorry. I don't mean to pry, but what kind of life are these people living, being stuck in these pods all the goddamn time?
They're going
pres-
to wake in a world better than this. Those on the surface will kill each other. They will perish, and whatever populates from their absence surely will be better.
Or worse.
That is a lot of assumptions.
Yeah, that's true. We're kind of doing like pretty well up there, with all things considered.
Our city means life and faith. That's a fact that they taught us in the academy.
Eva Vera.
Yeah, they got a pretty good burger. Or at least one diner downtown does.
Good to know.
Okay.
You kind of said that in like a menacing way. Did you mean it that way, or?
It like activates that buzz in your temples in the room, turns back to its clean, younger state. And again, instead of that hunched over machine of a man, it is now just an older gentleman, kind of graying hair. Is this better?
No, I feel like if you had said it in this form, it would have been equally as menacing.
Agreed.
If you tell anyone, they're going to come, they're going to take these pods away, they're going to wake these people up in a world that they aren't ready for.
Yeah, but isn't that like the whole point of being alive?
Is it?
Yeah, I mean, I'm never ready for what goes on when we leave this city, but I usually have a pretty good time. And that's
Can't
how I
stop you.
learn.
Clearly, I can't overpower you. I have no desire to harm you. Whatever you choose to do, so be it.
How long have these people been down here?
Since before the sun.
So you just like kidnapped a bunch of people from a regular, fine world and then kept them down here while everything collapsed above you?
No. We were experimenting on cryo chambers, on preserving life until they could be thawed. It's coincidental timing that we got trapped down here.
Did like all these people sign a contract that said like don't wake me until it's been X amount of time or something
No.
like that?
Like
So
a pre-dust contract wouldn't be legally binding anyway, would it?
Grigori's off the.
How
answer.
were these people selected?
They had nowhere else to go. They were given an income, they were given housing, they were given a future that they otherwise wouldn't have had.
Did they know what they were signing up for?
No.
okay,
All
well,
right, wake them up.
Wow, this is Hey, yeah.
Wake them up.
Listen, hypothetically, if you were to wake them up, where would the button to do that be?
I don't know how many would survive, but I'm not going to wake them up. If you wish
Well-
to do so, it's on you.
Okay. What are you gonna do if
We're
we
not
do that?
asking you to.
Do nothing.
Yeah, but I mean like after, right? Because this kind of seems like your whole deal.
We'll find new purpose.
can't
Is it
you
gonna
keep
involve? Is it gonna involve kidnapping people and holding them hostage for a really long time?
I was about to say you keep saying menacing shit. I don't like it.
These people would be long since dead, if not for us.
So
They're barely alive now.
You're holding on to them for too long. Your protection has overextended itself into incarceration.
Especially since it wasn't their choice.
Then by all means. He will turn and start heading towards the open bulkhead. Pausing to look at your mechanoid human companion, just kind of look him up and down. Interesting. thought you were dead. And then keep walking.
Who's that addressed to?
My buddy.
Oh, okay. Great.
Sunshine is gonna yell after. As the movie says, life finds a way, and it's gonna climb down and find that fucking button.
What movie is that from?
I don't know. I heard it one time. Somebody quoted it at me.
Cool.
I never got to see it.
No, it's good.
I believe it's from a book.
If we wake these people up, we're gonna have to escort them back. You know that, right?
Ooh, Corbin, this might be a really great opportunity to get that cult continued, like you're trying to do. A bunch of people who are lost and have nowhere to go or anything to do. Doesn't that sound fun?
Oh yeah. My dad said people in the old world did that a lot.
You can.
And Corbin almost smiles.
Yes, I'll take it.
That's close enough.
I saw that clear as day. I saw it.
So whoever would like to try to thaw them, this is very old technology that is barely functioning. So I would probably call this dusk, but remove the highest die and then use the second highest die.
I got 3 dusk.
You mean
Only got
shade?
2.
Shade, yes. I keep calling it
Shade.
dusk, but yes, shade.
That's a 4 and a 4.
I thought we were talking about.
We were talking about how many points we have, yeah.
Oh, I have 2 in shade. I rolled a 4 and a 4.
Well, sure, if you'd also like to roll.
No, it's fine.
Like,
No,
amazing.
let's take this. I
Like-
like this.
mid trying to like find the programming, and then the entire system just activates as you're ready to hit enter. But yeah, one by one the people would start to wake, confused, a little angry, but mostly scared. Would you take them back to Ivavara?
I mean, we have to.
Yeah, I think so.
I would try to
And I think
convince-
Corbin. I was just gonna say, I think Corbin does like do his best to go to each of them, assuring them that everything will be okay, and he will take care of them,
Absolutely.
and they will be a family.
This time Caldwell looks to Strigori and as though to ask, "Is this weird?"
It's extremely predatory, yes.
Predatory. But he sounds so nice when he says it.
You will learn quickly that the smile is the best way to show all your teeth.
That is where the teeth are.
Someday you will learn, dear couple, and the world will quake in your footfalls.
What?
Reaper, now that the people have been thawed, no longer with any purpose, now cursed with unlife, the spirit that was in the generator would simply leave. It can't die, but maybe it'll find new purpose.
As it should.
You think Zephyr's gonna be mad at us since the generator isn't working?
Well, if he wanted it done his way, he should have come down here and done it himself.
He may yet have purpose for the parts.
Mhm.
The functionality of the machine is not lost.
I think
Also,
Zephyr
the
can
best-
leave his house.
And by that I mean he will send us again.
And the best resource that we have right now is life. So this might have been what he wanted all along.
Well, we can jump into just a little bit of post story as you escort these people back to your city. Report back. Are there any details that you're leaving out, or just explaining the entire series of events?
I put in a full proper report. Like I sit down, I take the time to do it.
Yeah, I feel like even if the rest of us like leave stuff out because of Caldwell, it's just like all lined out there. So I don't I don't think
Make
there's really
sure my buddy
And
comes with me.
oh,
and then we saw a metal worm.
All right. Well, as you return from your mission, very successful, you all can choose another mod. This is just a mod that you know. In between missions, you can switch out. So you would have 3 mods to choose from now going into mission, but you can still only ever have 2 active at any time. But
ooh, this is a one shot. Why would
I
we
don't
be
know what you're
choosing
talking about.
another
Just
Oh, weird,
mod?
crazy.
explaining mechanics in case anyone was to play it.
Yes, 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 yes.
But um, I do want to go down the line, one last time, kind of if there's anything that you would like to do, kind of as you return, anything to relax, or maybe seek out. We can start with Sunshine.
Did they let me bring my lizard friend in?
As long as you are responsible for any damage it causes.
Done. I absolutely have now in 2 games. I have the Velociguana and now I have a fire breathing lizard. And I'm very pleased about both of them. I absolutely take this thing and I just take it up to like the border of the city, um, and try to see if I can like convince it to stick around. And whether or not it does, if it does, it's coming with me. But I would like to try and find Zephyr's brother. I would like to try and go back and see where he ended up at, um, because we never got his name, and I'm just curious about what his name is. Felt bad for him.
You would find very clear traces of where he is going as he's just kind of exploring the city. He doesn't move very quickly, but still he seems to leave these symbols expecting all of you to return. Um, Occasionally leaving like little like data drives of bits and pieces of his story, explaining how this all started, their project of looking into cryosleep, the sun exploding, them getting trapped down there, and how he had to bit by bit replace his body with mechanical pieces to survive.
Do I get his name? Does he tell me?
Well, his last name is also Zephyr, but his first name is Mori.
Maury. I yeah, I'm gonna spend some time trying to get to know Maury. I'm gonna bring as many drinks as I can whenever I go down and visit him.
Oh, um, we're no longer on mission, so Joseph, what would your between mission look like?
Reading, enjoying the quiet solemnity of his, abode in the library, and also, of course, learning more about his new companion, trying to figure out who they are and what their whole shtick is.
To tie in with what um, what Nikki was finding, with all of these little data chip stories that Mori was leaving behind. This was an old Spark pilot from years ago, but the entire team was lost, and he was able to drag this one survivor out, and similar to how he survived, replace his body with mechanical parts. He didn't take to it nearly as well, and was eventually shut down because he was not surviving. His body was rejecting the parts. But now he seems to be okay.
Good. Yeah, Joseph will of course be available should anyone need him for anything, but for the most part he does simply settle in for a book, occasionally stopping for a drink and enjoying the ambiance of the city.
Absolutely. Caldwell.
Oh, Caldwell spends most of their time at the Spark HQ working on their plague formula. But I think after that mission, they would also probably try to like get everyone to come out for a day and go to like their favorite diner in the food court or food district area of the city. Just to like have a nice little team outing, because Caldwell likes working with the Sparks and in the Spark headquarters, but they miss their friends.
Yeah. All right. Dolly, I know this. I don't remember.
Cassidy.
Cassidy, thank you.
Well, since Corbin didn't seem too keen on karaoke, Cassidy has. Oh, okay. Wait, well, she'll do a separate karaoke trip with anybody that would want to go to karaoke. But instead, yeah, she'd probably try to plan some kind of thing like similar to that, like everybody getting together, like I don't know, hibachi or like space medieval times, or some kind of like exciting event type thing. But yeah, she would also, I mean, always down for karaoke, so anybody that would want to go to karaoke would be down for that. I saw one hand raised, so she's probably also.
Team building.
Oh yeah. Yes.
All right. And Corbin.
Corbin is setting up the group of survivors in that church and is getting them settled there. And is very much focused on building the cult of the Reaper.
Totally normal thing to do.
Totally normal and okay thing to do. It's fine.
All right.
I'm worried. Why are you worried?
Well, with that, we can not only put an end to tonight's session, but an end to our charity event. This has been so much fun. We've had so many amazing games. We raised just under $1,500 to support the Trevor Project. And Exalted Funeral is going to match what we raised, so we, in total, raised a little under $3,000 to support an amazing cause. Thank you all to everyone that donated, everyone that came to support the stream. It means the absolute world to me, to all of us. And I do have some prizes to give away. I'm gonna turn down that music real quick. I know this is what we've all been waiting for. All right, let's start with the two copies we have of this game, given to us by Gila RPG. Thank you so much. Spin, spin, spin the wheel. I have a wheel. It's actually clicking for. I think that the stream can actually hear it. Um, JD,
Yeah.
you have a
Yay!
copy of Nova. This is such a fun game. We're absolutely gonna play it again. Congrats.
I am thrilled.
And roll for the spin for the other copy of the game. Which is going to Rich. Rich, if you're still here, get in touch with us. We'll send you a copy of this so y'all can have it over on High Shelf Collective.
Let's go.
And let's go with the year subscription to Legend Keeper. Yeah, that's it. The campaign manager. I'm pretty sure the stream can hear the wheel spinning. Rich!
Also rich?
Also Rich.
Nice.
Oh my god.
Well, he did also donate $100.
Fair.
Well, do we do the dice first or the dice box first?
I think you do dice first because
Dice
Turk has been waiting all
first.
night for
Let's
those.
do dice first.
I just want to support the team. That's all.
Spin, spin, spin. Ian!
Oh, nice.
Hey!
Thank you so much.
Look at you,
You were here
look at
like
you go.
all of the streams, just constantly supporting us in the stream, and you're always a fantastic person, just a wonderful player to have at the table. So thank you so much. And we'll get in all your deets so we can send you the dice. But we still have the Hex dice box. Spin, 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 spin. It was right there, and then it went past. Rich, it was almost you. It jumped past your name by just our winner for the dice box is Turk.
Yeah!
Yay!
Big wins.
Thank you all so much for being here, for hanging out, for supporting an amazing cause. I look forward to doing this again next year, as it's every January we'll be doing another charity of some sort, and hopefully it's just even bigger and more extreme, and just happy to do good things. But that's enough out of me.
Happy birthday!
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, happy end of birthday charity.
I do want to go
Yes.
around one last time, give everyone a chance to tell the people who you are, and if you have any projects people can check out, where they can find it. We'll go counterclockwise, starting with JT.
What's up? I'm JT. I was Caldwell Bashar. My pronouns are they, them. You can find me on Twitter at Weebjeet. You can find me in the Discord. I would say a commoner there. You can find me in the Twitch chat as the Hoovenist. And you can find me on stream next month running a game. A little one-shot. I'm also working on a secret project that I think only JD is currently privy to, but that will be coming up soon. Thank you so much for having me. You guys were all wonderful. Hoop, thank you for picking up the game. This was great.
Yeah, this game was so much
Many.
fun. All right, over to Blair.
Hi, I'm Blair, or underscore Canadian Moose all over the place. I am usually over at High Shelf Collective. Currently in a we're wrapping up our Hecna actual play, which is like a spooky carnival type thing. And that is on Sunday evenings. Super great. Still, even though it's the end, you should still come check it out because it's really cool. We're about to fight the big bad guy. And then I think that's all that I'm in over there right now, but I'm there all the time. I'll be in more things. There's finished all the things here, and then I'm also on 2000 Tales on Friday, which next week we're starting our hiatus cyberpunk game. Except it's not in Night City. It's in um, it's in like New England, like in the mountains, like in the Appalachian Mountains, and I can't say words. But it is all spooky with like cryptids and then like crazy tech and stuff. It's a very cool mix. Our whole uh session 0, we used the quiet year to build out the world and stuff over there, and it was so much fun and so awesome. So literally we will be playing 4 sessions. Come check it out. The what we were playing is this big, and then the lore is this much. So it's very cool. I'm super excited about it. That starts next Friday. So on 2000 Tales, come check that out. And then
Yeah.
follow me at all the places. And thank you so much. This was so much fun. I want to play this like 1,000 times over. And all of you are fantastic and wonderful.
Yeah. GD.
Hi, I'm JD. You can find me on social media at JD, not Jason Dean, and I, of course, was Corbin Calloway tonight. You can find me most often with Live from the Apocalypse in the ongoing campaigns, Class Reunion, and our Masks actual play podcast, Academy H. You can also currently find me in our Wildcard Wednesday games, Vampire Records, which is a combination of Empire Records and Buffy the Vampire Slayer, and our Yu-Gi-Oh game, Band in Dual City, which are on alternating Wednesdays. And then you can find me most Mondays with Tales from the Table Studios in their SCP game, A Crumbling Foundation. Those are the and RPGs Uncovered. I am a part of the cast of season 4. We are starting our demo live play this weekend for Cyber Rats, so that is going to be a good time. I think those are most of the things. I know I'll be showing up with the Lost Caravan at least once next month, maybe a few other times. We will see for Lancer at the start of the month, and then whatever else might come the way as the month progresses. But this was amazing. I love all of you. This was such a good time. Let's do it again sometime, guys.
Yeah.
I guess maybe.
All right, Turk.
I'm gonna have to tone it way down next time. Oh boy. This is gonna be a thing. I gotta like actually make a character. Anyway, hi. I am Turk, or Turk accented in the place you dare not look. I of course was playing Joseph Lodimir, aka Strigori, aka the Euphemism Machine. Not a vampire,
Mm-mm.
just real keen on blood.
Mhm.
And bats, and sleeps in a coffin because he has sensitive eyes.
And needs to be invited in.
Well, he's not rude.
It's just crazy how vampiric you are.
It's wild. I know. It's like really unfortunate. Not again, not a vampire. Anyway, if you like me and the words I say and the things I do, why? But more importantly, I have some great news. I am going to be in more things. Probably more of this. But at the beginning of I am basically done for the rest of January, which is sad. But January kicks off, and a whole bunch of things are coming in. Last transmission on the first Thursday of February. Then the return of Oathsworn over on Neon Lights Roleplay, which is the campaign that I run, which is a combination of epic Greek, Roman, and well, mainly epic Greek mythology and high fantasy roleplay. The players this is going to be like a big return. We haven't played together in a year since the platform we were on exploded, but we will survive. Because even the gods are bound by oath and prophecy. And it's really fun. It's if you like Bioware games, it's got a lot of similar vibes to that. Stop selling it, but I'm really excited. But also, we'll have our next episode of Icon on the 8th. I'll be running a game next month that you can sign up for still, I think, called Royal Blood, which is a tarot-based RPG. Which is completely collective world building. I mean, we're gonna have a session 0 and make this world and figure out who our mark is as we figure out which of the major arcanas we're gonna steal the power of. And it should be a lot of fun. I've run this once before, and it got really just very pretty and beautiful and symbolic. And that was just amongst like close friends, so we could goof off. But also, I run Frozen Rain over on Neon Lights, which will be in February, and also there will be the start of the Impossible Landscapes, which is a Delta Green campaign here. If you missed the two-shot we did, was that last month? No. Yes. Oh my gosh. Then that was really fun and gives you the appropriate vibes for all of our characters. So
Our
a
YouTube
lot of
channel.
fun stuff. And it's on the YouTube channel. Check out the YouTube. A lot of cool stuff on there. I'm in some of it, so be careful of those. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. Thank you for donating. Y'all are awesome. I mean, kind of pat myself on the back there, but I got Dicebox, so like. But we also support a really awesome cause, and I think this whole thing is just super cool. Anyway, we'll see you around next time. Keep being good people, or else.
Or else.
And support the people you see on your screen, because they're all incredible creators.
Over to Kian. You're muted.
That's too bad because I said everything that I needed to say. So
All right,
I
moving
guess
on.
you guys got nothing. I am Kian, pronouns they, them, theirs. I am on Twitter at uptight_chiffon. This has been an absolute delight. And just to echo what everybody said, this was a wonderful cast, a wonderful game. And thank you to everybody who donated to support the Trevor Project. I will be next hanging out here on the 30th for Arc Doom. I will be playing on February 8th with Icon with Turk. I'm super excited about it. If you want to see my other giant pet lizard, you can check it out over in Icon. And then I'm so excited. Starting on February 16th, I will be in an Invisible Sun campaign over on Sorting Key, and I'm super stoked about it. We have built an amazing world, an amazing cast of characters, so definitely come hang out there. But also, as Turk said, support the people that you see on the screen. Everybody is super rad. And then, of course, take care of yourselves. Be gentle with yourselves. Just a reminder that the year doesn't have to start until you say it does. So all the New Year's resolutions, put them off as long as you need to. But yes, love yourselves, love each other. Usually I am like, go do a impulsive thing, but I haven't done an impulsive thing lately. So let me live vicariously through you. Tweet about it, tag me, and I will absolutely support it.
Yeah. Well, I of course have been Andrew, your games master for the evening, and for most evenings around here. Although, just like they said, you are gonna find a bunch of friendly faces behind the GM seat in the coming weeks because we've got a bunch of great people that want to tell a bunch of great stories, and I'm here to support it. Thank you to everyone that donated and hung out. Y'all are amazing. We heckin' love ya. This was a wonderful event. Just absolutely, my heart is so full and warm and just so happy. But we are going to be doing some community events in the coming days. Going to be playing some games, hanging out, just cooling down from all the stresses of running a 10-day long charity event. So we're just gonna relax. So if that sounds fun, or you can join our Discord. The link is down below. That big old button that says Discord. It's where we post things like casting calls, schedules, and just generally hang out and be giant nerds. Friends over at Nightmare Nexus are currently live. They have beautiful character art. They're just incredibly talented, funny people, so I'm going to throw a raid over to them. But before I do, as always, be good people, do good things, and we'll see you next time. Bye, everybody.